Chapter 261. Give me a reason to take you in. 3. Stop. That's enough. Lung Ruoxue was flabbergasted and stopped the talkative snow eagle from continuing. Who knew what it would say next? Then, will you accept me? The snow eagle suddenly became a little shy and lowered its head, not daring to look at Long Ruoxue. Miss, please take it. It's so pitiful. Lu Tao couldn't help pleading. In order to express its loyalty, this snow eagle explained everything it could, even including its 8 generations of ancestry. Moreover, it pretended to be pitiful and cute, making Lu Tao unable to bear seeing it like this. On account that my maidservant pleaded on your behalf, I'll accept you, Lung Ruoxue said helplessly. Thank you, master. The snow eagle quickly initiated the contract, as if it was afraid that Lung Ruoxue would regret it. Lu Tao, Feng De, choose one each too, Lung Ruoxue said after the contract was completed. Okay. Feng De and Lu Tao each chose an eagle that looked more pleasing to the eye to contract. After that, Lung Ruoxue took the other holy beasts, willing to acknowledge her as their master, into the bracelet, and the 3 of them left this place. After returning to where they camped last night, Lung Ruoxue found that Ju Ri and the others had left, so they chased after them. Master, Ju Ri and the others seem to be in trouble, Quill said after confirming their location with his X-ray vision. Is it big trouble? Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. Yes, they encountered a level 9 holy beast, Quill explained. A level 9 holy beast? Lung Ruoxue smiled gently. Big brother just luck is pretty good. He just happens to need a level 9 holy beast when one came knocking on his door. Master, that level 9 holy beast should be an earth demon bear. It's very strong and has high defense. The snow eagle transformed into a small white bird and landed on Long Ruoxue's shoulder. It should be called Snow Maple now. Who is more powerful, this bear or the King Kong great ape? Lung Ruoxue asked. They are equally strong. They are spirit beasts with both offensive and defensive capabilities, Snow Maple explained. Oh, Quill, let's not get close unless their lives are in danger, Lung Ruoxue ordered after some thought. This was a rare opportunity. She hoped Big Brother Ju could grasp it. Quill nodded and found a suitable spot to hide and observe secretly. At this time, Ju Ri was covered in cold sweat as he faced a level 9 holy beast releasing its immense might. This holy beast was equivalent to a human spiritual supremacy. Moreover, it seemed that this bear didn't have a good temper. I don't want to fight with you. Let's talk. Ju Ri gathered his courage to say. He really didn't know how Ruoxue managed to convince her beasts. To be honest, he didn't think this bear would be able to reason with him, nor did he think he had Ruoxue's charm to entice spirit beasts. Human, don't try to stall for time. You are all dead. The earth demon bear, whose body was nearly 3 meters tall and earthly yellow, roared like thunder, demonstrating its current anger. Ju Ri glanced at his subordinates and the Ma family members, who had fainted from the might of the earth demon bear, and summoned up his courage to say, Senior, we really didn't mean to disturb your cultivation. In this world, the strong were respected. Be it humans or spirit beasts, as long as they were strong, they should be respected. Therefore, Ju Ri placed himself as a junior and only hoped that this earth demon bear would be lenient with them. You make it sound so good. I was cultivating at a critical point when you interrupted me. You caused me to be unable to advance and almost enter cultivation deviation. But you still have the delusion that I will let you go. What a lunatic's dream, the earth demon bear said fiercely through gritted teeth. This human was actually quite strong. He actually didn't faint from its might. Senior, I have a way to promote you, Ju Ri said after some thought. What method do you have? The earth demon bear's curiosity was completely piqued by Ju Ri. It couldn't be helped. The allure of advancement was just too great. I have a friend who's an alchemist. She has pills that can promote a level 9 holy beast. She promised to give me one, but you have to contract with me first, Ju Ri explained, a little scared. Hopefully, this bear would be enticed. Human, how dare you trick me into contracting with you? There's no such pill in the world. The earth demon bear didn't believe Ju Ri's words at all. Senior, how about this? Trust me for now. They'll bring you to see her. You can contract with me after you confirm my words. How about that? Ju-ri said carefully after thinking quickly. But he was screaming in his heart, Ruoxue, where are you? I'm waiting for you to save me. Okay, I will believe you for the time being. The Earth Demon Bear pondered for a long time before finally nodding its head in agreement. It was very confident in its own strength and believed that this puny human wouldn't dare to play any tricks. Do you want to see me? Lung Ruoxue slowly walked out from her hiding place. Ruoxue. Ju-ri was excited to see his wish come true. Big Bear. If you form a contract with Big Brother Ju, we'll give you a green spirit pill concocted from a green spirit fruit, Lung Ruoxue said directly, not giving the Earth Demon Bear any chance to speak. Really? I want to inspect the goods first, the Earth Demon Bear said with a look of joy, but was still not blinded by it. Okay. Lung Ruoxue took out a green spirit pill and handed it to the Earth Demon Bear. Well, this bear is pretty smart. It's really concocted from a green spirit fruit. The Earth Demon Bear looked at the green pill, and its eyes lit up with excitement. I'm willing to enter into a soul contract with this human. The Earth Demon Bear couldn't wait any longer and voluntarily entered into a soul contract. For you. Lung Ruoxue kept her promise and handed the pill to the Earth Demon Bear after seeing that the contract was completed. The Earth Demon Bear took the pill and threw it directly into its big mouth. Girl, the creek of Affinity Mystic Realm is about to appear. At this moment, Butterfly's voice suddenly sounded in Lung Ruoxue's mind. Really? Lung Ruoxue was surprised. Is it finally going to appear? So many things have happened because of the spots. It will be best if there's something interesting there. Otherwise, I will definitely regret letting the Mystic Realm appear. Chapter 262. Entering the Creek of Affinity Mystic Realm, 1. Yes, I can feel it, Butterfly said proudly. Since it was the envoy of the Mystic Realm, its senses couldn't be wrong. When will it appear? Lung Ruoxue continued asking. A week later, Butterfly answered. Where is it? There's no fixed location. After the Mystic Realm opens, anyone with a spot can be teleported in automatically, Butterfly explained. Boo-hoo. After being aggrieved for so long, I'm finally going to have a use. Girl, you will very much need me in the Mystic Realm, so you have to treat me better from now on. Butterfly was a little smug again. Get lost. Go somewhere else. Lung Ruoxue roared furiously. This damn Butterfly really didn't know how to behave. Girl, you're not gentle at all. You have to learn from Ruhan. As a girl, you can't behave like this, Butterfly said fearfully. 2 drops of cold sweat dripped down Lung Ruoxue's forehead. She broke the connection with Butterfly without hesitation and turned her gaze to the big bear. At this moment, the bear had already completed its advancement and was sitting on the ground in a daze. Ju-ri was currently in the midst of his advancement because he had contracted with it and obtained many benefits. 15 minutes later, Ju-ri completed his advancement. His face was full of disbelief as he looked at his stage. Heavens, is this real? I actually advanced 2 stages and am now at peak spiritual sovereign. Wasn't this a little too easy? Ahem. Lung Ruoxue deliberately coughed twice to wake up the stunned human and beast. Master. The Earth Demon Bear looked at Ju-ri happily. It was now a divine beast. Boo-hoo. It really wasn't easy. Big Bear, congratulations, Ju-ri said happily. After the Master and Beast communicated enough, they finally remembered Lung Ruoxue. Ruoxue, thank you so much, Ju-ri said gratefully. Thank you, Big Bear said, its fluffy head showing a shy expression. You're welcome. Big Bear, you have to protect Big Brother Ju from now on. Lung Ruoxue reminded him. Yes. Big Bear nodded. It had to protect its master. Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to survive either if anything happened to its master. Big Brother Ju, what happened? Lung Ruoxue looked at the unconscious Xiangdong and the others on the ground. Don't mention it. Ju-ri sighed heavily. If not for Ruoxue, their team would have become the sacrificial lambs to Big Bear's anger. That woman interrupted my cultivation. I was originally just a little away from advancement, but because of her, all my efforts were in vain. Thinking of this, Big Bear was still very angry. Big Brother Jew, let's go back after waking them up, Long Ruashua said after some thought. The mystic realm was about to open, so she had to prepare early. Okay, Ju Ri agreed. Since this close call happened, he was no longer in the mood to continue protecting them and training them. Young master, run. There's a bear. Xiang Dong's memory still lingered from before he fainted, so he shouted excitedly after waking up. Calm down. It's okay. Ju Ri patted his shoulder to console him. Okay. Xiang Dong's mind slowly became clear. The others were not much better than Xiang Dong. After comforting the mercenary group, Ju Ri walked to Ma Zhongxian and said directly, Elder Ma, let's go back. Okay, let's go back, Ma Zhongxian said helplessly. After what happened, he didn't have the face to ask them to continue protecting them. After all, they had discussed it beforehand. What? Go back? No, second uncle, we can't go back. I haven't found a spirit beast I like yet. Ma Euro yelled in disapproval when she heard their conversation. It's not up to you. Ma Zhongxian glared at his niece coldly. Because of her willfulness, they had almost lost their lives. Moreover, even though the Hurricane Mercenary Group didn't say it explicitly, it was obvious that they wouldn't care about their lives if they insisted on staying here. It was really too unwise to sacrifice all their lives for such a willful niece. Second uncle, did you forget what father said before we left? Ma Euro immediately brought up her father when she saw that her second uncle didn't listen to her. I will explain this matter to Big Brother, Ma Zhongxian said uncompromisingly. Big Brother Ju, I don't want to leave this place. Ma Euro looked at Ju Ri with tears in her eyes, hoping to move him with her tears. Stay here by yourself then, Ju Ri said coldly. Then he turned and left, too lazy to entertain her any further. Ma Zhongxian glanced at his niece indifferently and ordered the others from the Ma family, gather and prepare to leave. Even after everyone sat on the flying spirit beasts, Ma Euro remained motionless. Euro, we're leaving if you don't want to come up, Ma Zhongxian said impatiently and gave an ultimatum. Ma Euro sat on a spirit beast's back unwillingly, still resentful. At night, everyone returned to Phoenix City on the spirit beasts. Big Brother Ju, let's part here, Long Ruashua said after entering Phoenix City. Okay. Ju Ri watched Long Ruashua leave before leaving with his team. After returning to the general's mansion, Long Ruashua directly entered the bracelet. Butterfly, Long Ruashua called softly in the space. Girl, I'm here. Did you miss me? The big purple butterfly fluttered its wings and appeared in front of Long Ruashua. Can you be more normal? I have something to ask you. Long Ruashua helplessly wiped the cold sweat off her forehead. She was really helpless in front of Butterfly. Girl, ask away. I will tell you everything I know, Butterfly promised after circling around. Okay, tell me about the mystic realm first. What's inside? Long Ruashua asked curiously. Chapter 263. Entering the Creek of Affinity Mystic Realm 2. Haha, you've asked the right person. No one is more familiar with that place than me. There are all sorts of treasures and spirit beasts there. Moreover, the lowest level ones are holy beasts. But whether you can contract with them will depend on your ability. Luck is extremely important there. If you are lucky, perhaps all the treasures will be yours. If you are unlucky, many people will snatch them from you. So, it's also very dangerous there, and there will often be fights. Therefore, after entering the mystic realm, you must be on alert. In case you accidentally lose your life, Butterfly reminded very kindly. However, you will only face 10% of the dangers you would have originally faced with me as your guide. Therefore, I am very important. Butterfly revealed its true nature. Butterfly, aren't only 200 people allowed in? How can it be dangerous? Long Ruashua asked in puzzlement, ignoring Butterfly's smugness. With their strength, the others shouldn't be their opponents. How is that possible? The mystic realm only appears once every 1,000 years. Butterfly exclaimed. Make yourself clear, Long Ruashua ordered as she grabbed Butterfly. Girl, let go. I can't breathe. Do you want to murder me? Arg. Butterfly struggled and wailed aggrievedly. I'm sorry. Tell me. Long Ruoxue quickly let go, but she couldn't help muttering in her heart, does a sprite need to breathe? Girl, the Ling Feng continent is not the only dimension in the vast universe. The Ling Feng continent is the lowest level dimension, but it's not the only low-level dimension. There are tens of thousands, or even more dimensions of this level. As a spiritual treasured space born of the cosmos, our creek of affinity mystic realm is naturally impossible to appear in only one dimension. Therefore, other low-level dimensions can also obtain spots for the creek of affinity mystic realm, Butterfly explained in detail. So, we might encounter people from other low-level dimensions after we enter the mystic realm? Long Ruoxue asked. Yes, that's possible. But the mystic realm is immense, and there won't be many of them, so don't worry. Butterfly thought Long Ruoxue was scared and quickly comforted her. Long Ruoxue nodded thoughtfully and continued, Butterfly, I remember you saying that having you by my side will be beneficial. Now, can you tell me what the benefits are? Isn't it enough to have me as your guide? Butterfly's eyes widened in disbelief, but it couldn't help muttering in its heart, this girl's appetite is really big. What do you think? Long Ruoxue asked instead of answering. She glanced at Butterfly with very unfriendly eyes. Girl, it'll allow you to bring more people in. That should be enough, right? Butterfly asked cautiously, its black eyes blinking nonstop. That's more like it. Long Ruoxue nodded in satisfaction. If more people could enter, they would be able to help her pick herbs if they encountered any. Girl, how many people do you plan to bring in? Butterfly asked curiously. Guess? Long Ruoxue smiled evilly. Don't tell me you want to bring everyone in? Butterfly couldn't help guessing, its little heart trembling. Hopefully not, or else the boss won't let me go. So smart. You got it right, Long Ruoxue praised. She looked at Butterfly's crying face and almost laughed out loud. Girl, let's discuss this. Can you not bring so many people in? Butterfly begged pitifully as though it was about to cry. Give me a reason, Long Ruoxue said without hesitation. The boss will kill me if you bring too many people in. Boo-hoo, Butterfly cried. Then how many people do you think I can bring in? Long Ruoxue asked very nicely. Seeing that there was a way out, Butterfly quickly said, 1,000. At most 1,000 people. There really cannot be more. All right, 1,000 people it is. Long Ruoxue said understandingly. In fact, she didn't intend to bring too many people in. She was just teasing it. Girl, you are so good. Butterfly happily circled around Long Ruoxue. As it danced, a light golden powder sprinkled down, showing its good mood. It really didn't expect the girl to be so easy to talk to, It sniggered wretchedly in its heart. After clarifying what she wanted to know, Long Ruoxue called out to the space. Qingju, big sister. Qingju instantly appeared in front of Long Ruoxue. Qingju, help me wake Grandpa and the others up? Long Ruoxue said after some thought. Yes, big sister. Qingju answered and immediately awakened Long Qingtian and the others, who were cultivating. Schwer, what's the matter? Long Qingtian emerged from his bamboo house. Ruoxue, why are you looking for us? Lin Liang walked out after him. The two old men looked at each other, and then at Long Ruoxue in bewilderment. 10 minutes later, the people Long Ruoxue was looking for gradually arrived, and then she explained what happened to them. Really, this is great. Long Qingtian exclaimed happily after hearing the news. The creek of affinity mystic realm. It was the dream of many spiritual supremacies, but only 200 people could enter. Therefore, the various forces would resort to all sorts of means to secure spots every time the creek of affinity mystic realm appeared. To think that this old man can still visit the mystic realm in my lifetime. Alas. Old man sighed. It was precisely because my master entered the mystic realm that he obtained a pill that allowed him to advance to spiritual deity all those years ago. He then went to the upper realm. I wonder how he's doing now. Lin Liang sighed. Schwer, how many people do you intend to bring in? Long Qingtian asked curiously. He didn't expect the little butterfly to have such authority. Apart from the mercenary group, there's you guys. I don't intend to bring anyone else in, Long Ruoxue said after some thought. The others were not strong, so it would be useless for them to go in. She would even have to take care of them. Instead of doing that, it was better to let them stay in the bracelet to cultivate. Chapter 264. Entering the Creek of Affinity Mystic Realm. 3. Yes, it's enough to bring us. Long Qingtian nodded in agreement. Lass, after we enter, we have to gather materials for artificing. I heard there are a lot of them, old Zao reminded. There were so many artificers in their team that there weren't enough materials to go around. Not only artificing materials. We also need to gather herbs, Long Ruoxue added. She had long thought about not letting these go. Yes, you and little brat Lu are alchemists. Old Zao agreed. In every world, alchemists, artificers, and beast trainers had very high statuses, so these things were very important to them. Grandpa, let's prepare over the next few days. Long Ruoxue reminded. Yes, we have to bring a lot of food, Long Qingtian said. Food again. Long Ruoxue was at a loss for words. Why can't Grandpa forget about preparing food wherever he goes? Girl, food is very important. There's nothing delicious there, Butterfly reminded Long Ruoxue, after seeing her thoughts. Grandpa, let's split up and go shopping for food, Long Ruoxue said with some embarrassment. Grandpa is still more experienced. The older, the wiser. Okay, let's prepare more of the various daily necessities. The space is big anyway, so there's no need to worry about it being full, Long Qingtian said confidently. Grandpa, it's getting late. Let's go buy more tomorrow, Long Ruoxue suggested. Long Qingtian and the others nodded. After discussing it for a while, they returned to their rooms to sleep. 5 days later, the listening snow pavilion, Long Ruoxue was lying comfortably on the bed with the little mink in her arms, while sighing in her heart. It really wasn't easy. It took 5 days to finally buy everything. These people's purchasing power is really amazing. Just thinking about the pile of things in the Space's warehouse, she felt her scalp tingling. Miss, young Master Hua is here, Lu Tao said softly from outside the door. What's he doing here? The little silver mink growled in displeasure when he heard that Hua Qing was here. Hee, it's been so long. Why are you still holding a grudge? Long Ruoxue rubbed the smooth fur of the little mink in some amusement. He actually ordered his spirit beast to pursue me, the little silver mink said resentfully. Haha, I think it's quite funny. What a loving scene. Long Ruoxue wanted to laugh whenever she thought of the scene that day. Swear, you're not allowed to mention it again. Boo-hoo. The little silver mink choked up. It was too embarrassing. All right. Long Ruoxue raised the little mink in front of her helplessly. Swear, I don't like this position. I'm exposed like this. Boo-hoo. The little silver mink cried shyly. No, you aren't. Your fur blocks everything. I swear I really don't see anything. Long Ruoxue raised her hand with a dark face and pretended to swear. She felt extremely helpless in her heart. What is this little mink thinking? Boo-hoo! The little silver mink cried even louder. Stop crying. Let's go see Hua Qing. Long Ruoxue coaxed. This little mink is simply a replica of Freak. They are too similar. With cold sweat dripping down her forehead, Long Ruoxue left the listening snow pavilion with the little mink in her arms and went to the living room where Hua Qing was waiting for her. Why are you here? Aren't you in seclusion? Long Ruoxue asked directly after entering the living room and sitting down at the main seat. I just came out of seclusion. I heard that you've recently bought a lot of things. Are you going on a long journey? Hua Qing was a little puzzled. With the heavenly essence pill that Ruoxue gave him, he smoothly advanced to spiritual supremacy. After advancing, he chose to enter seclusion to consolidate his cultivation. After exiting seclusion, he heard his father mention this matter, so he hurried over immediately. No, the Creek of Affinity Mystic Realm is about to appear, Long Ruoxue said honestly. She didn't intend to hide this matter from Hua Qing, but she wouldn't take the initiative to tell him either. Really? Hua Qing stood up in surprise. Would what Butterfly told me be fake? Long Ruoxue said lightly. Then why are you buying food? Hua Qing's face was full of question marks. What did the appearance of the mystic realm have to do with all that food? Butterfly said that there's nothing delicious in the mystic realm, so we prepared more food, Long Ruashua explained. Oh, when will the Creek of Affinity mystic realm appear? Huaqing asked, his face full of anticipation. Less than 2 days, Long Ruashua said after calculating the time. It's not too late to prepare now, Long Ruashua added. Okay, Ruashua, I won't chat with you any longer today. I'm going back to prepare. Huaqing got up hurriedly and left. How pragmatic. He left so quickly after finding out about the news, the little mink said disdainfully as he watched Huaqing leave. Hee, isn't that normal? The attraction of the mystic realm to them is unimaginable to you, you little mink. Long Ruashua smiled nonchalantly. Schwer, let's go to bed. The little silver mink yawned. Aren't you going to eat dinner? Long Ruashua asked, but she was puzzled. Why does this little fellow want to sleep so early today? No, I want to sleep, the little silver mink said. Recently, he had been sleeping with Schwer every day. He was so blessed. Let's go then. Long Ruashua walked to her room with the little mink in her arms. 2 days later, Long Ruashua and the others slowly felt the summoning of the mystic realm. Everyone gathered together in the living room. Girl, let them into your space quickly, Butterfly suddenly yelled anxiously. Okay. Without any doubts, Long Ruashua sent everyone and the beasts into the bracelet. Butterfly, why is this? Long Ruashua asked when only Butterfly and she remained in the living room. The teleportation of the Creek of Affinity Mystic Realm is random. I was afraid that you would be separated. Butterfly explained, blinking its shiny black eyes. Chapter 265. Entering the Creek of Affinity Mystic Realm 4. Why didn't you say so earlier then? What if it's too late? Long Ruashua roared angrily as she grabbed Butterfly in her hand. Girl, you're not gentle again. Boo-hoo! Tears streamed down Butterfly's small black eyes like rain. Suddenly, a strong light shone on Long Ruashua. After the light faded, Long Ruashua and Butterfly disappeared from the living room. This place? Long Ruashua looked at the scenery in front of her and pondered in her heart. Is this the Creek of Affinity Mystic Realm? But isn't this place a little too disappointing? At this moment, Long Ruashua was standing in the middle of an open space. Not far in front of her was an inconspicuous forest. Moreover, the forest was not very big from what she could see. Behind her was a river, and she saw boundless white fog when she looked past the river. She couldn't see anything clearly, and the left and right sides were covered in white fog that stretched as far as the eye could see. Butterfly stopped in front of Long Ruashua and said with a face full of pride, Girl, this is my home. Pretty good, isn't it? There were no traces of crying in its bright black eyes. Not bad, my foot. What kind of damn place is this? Cold sweat dripped down Long Ruashua's forehead, and her heart was on fire. This place really made her unhappy. Apart from the small forest in front of her and the river behind her, there was nothing else. Moreover, the spiritual energy in the air here was not dense enough. In short, its reputation was only good until she saw it in person. Girl, don't get angry so soon. Actually, this place is really good, but you need to explore it yourself. Your first stop is the forest in front of you. You can only be teleported to other places after you pass through that forest, and this first stage is also the safest. Girl, you're really lucky. There are the most good things in forests in this mystic realm, Butterfly said excitedly. Where else can I be teleported to? Long Ruashua asked curiously after hearing what Butterfly said. But her doubts didn't reduce at all because this forest was too small. She could see the end of it with a single look. Deserts, oceans, canyons, mountain ranges, and so on. But teleporting to forests is the best for you, Butterfly explained. They'll believe you for now, Long Ruashua said after some thought, and then let everyone out. After everyone emerged, they were very calm because they had heard the conversation between Long Ruashua and Butterfly. Schwer, let's set off since we can only go to other places if we pass through the forest, Long Qingtian said eagerly while rubbing his palms. He was really too curious about this legendary creek of affinity mystic realm. Let's go, Long Ruashue said when she saw everyone was impatient to see the legendary mystic realm. Go, go. Everyone was excited as they walked into the forest together. After entering the forest, Long Ruashue knew that she was wrong. She shouldn't have judged the forest by its appearance because there were herbs everywhere here, many of which covered the paths, and some were abnormally precious. Moreover, the interior of this forest was not small at all. Don't move. Don't step on any herbs. Lu Yin, an alchemist, shouted excitedly, giving everyone a fright. Stinky brat, why are you shouting so loudly? We aren't deaf. Old Man rapped Lu Yin on the head and deliberately scolded him angrily. Hee hee. Lu Yin only smiled foolishly. Lu Yin is right. Everyone, be careful not to step on the herbs, Long Ruashue said with some amusement. Alas, Lu Yin's love for herbs is even crazier than mine. Schwer, what should we do now? Long Ruhin asked, not daring to move. Go ahead. We can't waste so many herbs, Long Ruashue said matter-of-factly. A few drops of cold sweat rolled down everyone's foreheads. How long would they have to pick since there was so much grass? Hee, I have good news for you. You won't be able to leave this area until you've harvested all the herbs here, Butterfly said happily as it danced in front of everyone. What? This piece of news was not good news at all. It was simply a waste of time, but they soon accepted their fate. After all, Butterfly was the local tyrant. They could not believe what others said, but they had to believe what the local tyrant said. Moreover, why was Butterfly so excited? Long Ruashue gave Butterfly an approving look. Haha, it was the first time she realized that Butterfly was a little useful. Otherwise, she wouldn't have the heart to get them to pick all the herbs. After accepting their fate, they all squatted down and began picking at the nearest spot to them. What is this? Suddenly, a cry of surprise sounded. What's the matter? What's the matter? Lin Yuan, why are you overreacting? Long Qingtian said with slight displeasure. He was the closest to Lin Yuan, so the voice reached his ears the loudest, giving him a fright. No, what do you think this is? Lin Yuan said aggrievedly. Immediately, everyone's gaze followed Lin Yuan's line of sight, only to see a light yellow ball covered in fluffy fur at the root of an unknown herb. The ball was about the size of a palm and had two equally round big eyes on it. At this moment, those pitch-black and bright eyes that were like the night sky were looking at Lin Yuan furiously, as if Lin Yuan was its enemy. Miss, what should we do? Lin Yuan asked while holding the herb in his hand, a little embarrassed. Boo-hoo. What exactly is this little thing? It had no other facial features except for a pair of eyes, and it was strange and scary. Moreover, it was staring at him. Butterfly suddenly screamed too. Damn Butterfly, why did you scream? Long Ruashue asked as she grabbed Butterfly flying in front of her. Hee, girl, we're rich. That little thing is a treasure-seeking beast. No treasure can escape from us if we have it, Butterfly said excitedly and let out a wretched laugh. Chapter 266, Encounter in the Forest, The Elegant White Tiger, 1. Treasure-Seeking Beast? Long Ruashue looked at the fur ball. She had never known that such a beast existed in the world, but it sounded pretty good. Big sister, I didn't expect there to be a treasure-seeking beast here. Qingju's voice sounded in Long Ruakshue's mind. Qingju, have you heard of this thing? Long Ruashue asked curiously. Yes. 100,000 years ago, treasure-seeking beasts were the dreams of everyone. But there are basically no more people who know about these beasts now. Moreover, treasure-seeking beasts have long been extinct. This should be the only treasure-seeking beast left. Big sister, you have to think of a way to tame it. That way, all the good treasures in the future will be ours, Qingju said excitedly. Cold sweat dripped down Long Ruakshue's forehead. How did Qingju become such a money grubber? But he was right. If she didn't accept such a good thing, wouldn't others benefit from it? Qingju, how can I tame it? Long Ruoxue was in a dilemma. This little thing seemed very unfriendly. Big sister, its favorite thing is treasures, so try seducing it with treasures, Qingju suggested after some thought. Treasures? Long Ruoxue frowned in thought. But after thinking about it, she realized that she actually didn't have any treasure she could take out. Her best treasure was the Heaven and Earth bracelet, but she couldn't take it out unless this little thing was willing to enter it. Long Ruoxue pondered for a long time. Finally, she gritted her teeth, took out a spirit fruit, and took a bite. Alas, forget it. We'll give it a try. Hopefully, it will be useful. But after waiting for a while, the little thing didn't even look at her. Long Ruoxue could only take out a fruit with richer spiritual energy and eat it. The yellow and fluffy furball seemed to have smelled the fruit. Its small body moved slightly, but not a lot. But the little thing's willingness to respond was already great encouragement to Long Ruoxue. She continued working hard and directly took out a nearly transparent white fruit. As soon as she took out this fruit, she saw a yellow bolt of lightning quickly pouncing over. By the time everyone reacted, the yellow furball had already appeared in Long Ruoxue's hand. The little furball hugged the fruit tightly, as though it had discovered a treasure and refused to let go no matter what. Long Ruoxue looked at the small furball close-up and realized that it had a nose and a mouth. They were tiny and covered by its fur, so they weren't easy to notice. Not only that, but the little guy also had a pair of fluffy little wings and a pair of pink and soft little paws. But they were hidden in the furry body, so from the outside, it looked like a furball with big black eyes. Treasure, treasure. A childish voice kept coming out of the yellow furball's mouth, sounding very happy. Big sister has many such treasures. You can have as many as you want as long as you are willing to follow Big sister, Long Ruoxue said seductively like the big bad wolf seducing Little Red Riding Hood. Really? The furball looked at Long Ruoxue with its big and round black eyes shining brightly. Big sister doesn't lie to children, Long Ruoxue said very sincerely with a smile on her face. Then I want to eat one of these fruits every day. The furball began to state its conditions. It ate heavenly materials and earthly treasures as its food. Otherwise, it wouldn't like to look for treasures. There's absolutely no problem, Long Ruoxue promised. But she was puzzled. Isn't this little thing afraid of exploding and dying? The amount of spiritual energy in this fruit was so unimaginable that she didn't even dare to eat it. But you have to listen to Big Sister from now on, Long Ruoxue added. Yes, I know a lot of treasures, the furball said ingratiatingly. Finding treasures was its specialty, and it could also improve its strength. After speaking, the little furball actively initiated a soul contract with Long Ruoxue. I'll call you Ball Ball from now on, Long Ruoxue said as she looked at its round body. I have a name. Ball Ball started flying around Long Ruoxue happily, but its chubby little body was really disproportionate to its pair of small wings. Everyone watched it in fear, afraid that it would fall from the air. Hee girl, not bad. It will be much easier to find treasures in the future. Butterfly stopped on Long Ruoxue's head and praised her. Okay, don't just stand there. Hurry up and pick the herbs, Long Ruoxue urged. She really didn't know how long it would take to gather so many herbs. Big sister, it'll help you. Ball Ball stopped on Long Ruoxue's shoulder after it had enough of flying. Okay. Although Long Ruoxue didn't think that this little thing could help, she couldn't object to it in order not to hurt the immature spirit of a child. In order to showcase its abilities, Ball Ball flew in the sky above a patch of herbs nearby. Starlight would spill out wherever it went. Immediately afterward, herbs emerged from the ground in groups. For a moment, everyone was dumbfounded. What ability was this? It was really unbelievable. A third of the herbs were gathered in the blink of an eye. Long Ruoxue was at a loss for words. Boo-hoo! She knew that she had guessed wrong again. The things in the mystic realm really couldn't be measured by common sense. Big sister, I need to rest. Ball Ball landed on Long Ruoxue's shoulder while panting. Okay, good. Let's not rush, Long Ruoxue said anxiously when she saw that Ball Ball was exhausted. She handed it a fruit it liked. Thanks, Big Sister. Ball Ball hugged the fruit almost the size of its body with its little paws, and began gnawing on it. Lung Qingtian walked to his granddaughter's side and said with satisfaction, "Schwer, this little fellow is really good. Little girl, we can save a lot of trouble in the future with this little thing." Old man also came over. Chapter 267. Encounter in the Forest, the Elegant White Tiger, 2. Okay. Lung Ruoxue nodded. She looked at Ball Ball, who was happily eating with tears in its eyes, and felt her heart soften. What an innocent and cute little fellow. Miss, it's very fierce. It even glared at me just now, Lin Yuan complained. Why are you still being calculative with a child? It was glaring at you because we stole its food. In fact, this little thing is very simple. Lung Ruoxue was very biased and spoke up for Ball Ball. That's right. You are already so old. Lung Qingtian glared at Lin Yuan and growled unhappily. Miss, Lin Yuan put on a bitter face and pretended to be pitiful. Unfortunately, no one cared at all. Go pick the herbs quickly. Don't count on Ball Ball for everything, Lung Ruoxue said directly. Okay, Lin Yuan replied and continued to pick the grass resignedly. After Ball Ball's earlier efforts, there were many places they could stand now, and it didn't seem as crowded. So they each chose a spot to pick the grass. Big sister, am done resting. Ball Ball then continued working. The amount of herbs on the ground decreased by 1/3 in the blink of an eye. Ball Ball, don't worry about it. Let us do the rest. Lung Ruoxue's heart ached as she looked at Ball Ball panting from exhaustion. She hurriedly handed it a spirit fruit to replenish its stamina. Thank you, big sister, Ball Ball said happily while holding the spirit fruit. Its big eyes almost narrowed into a line from smiling. After getting Ball Ball to rest, she sent the herbs it picked into the bracelet. She also found a place to focus on picking herbs. Wow, miss, look what I found. Lu Yin suddenly exclaimed excitedly. Everyone looked at Lu Yin and saw that he was holding a golden-colored ginseng that was as thick as an adult's arm. The head of the ginseng even had human features, and it was very clear. Is this a ginseng or a carrot? Why is it so big? Feng De murmured in disbelief. Idiot, of course it's ginseng. Lin Liang gave Feng De a knock on the head, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Lung Ruoxue looked at the large golden ginseng in surprise and explained. This is a golden ginseng and at least 1,000 years old. Miss, the facial features on this are very clear. Do you think it has developed intelligence? Lu Yin asked curiously. As an alchemist, he was most interested in all sorts of herbs and plants. Moreover, it was extremely rare to see such a large ginseng. It was really too exciting. Bring it here and let me see, Lung Ruoxue said. Okay. Lu Yin handed the ginseng to Lung Ruoxue and looked at her expectantly. Lung Ruoxue held the golden ginseng in her hand, but she didn't feel any spiritual power fluctuations. Perhaps this ginseng hasn't developed intelligence yet? Suddenly, she seemed to feel fear, but only very slightly. Qingju, has this ginseng developed intelligence? Lung Ruoxue asked uncertainty through telepathy. Big sister, this golden ginseng is about 3,000 years old and has already developed intelligence, but it's not obvious. Big sister, hand it to me. You have to plant it quickly. This ginseng is very timid, Qingju said with a chuckle. Okay. Lung Ruoxue sent the golden ginseng into the bracelet. It already has intelligence, but it's not obvious, Lung Ruoxue explained after talking with Qingju. Wow, I've never seen a wood-type sprite before, Lu Yin said excitedly. Stinky brat, do you think we've seen one before? Those things have long become legends, old Zhao said with slight displeasure as he hit Lu Yin on the head. Hee hee, miss, when can we see the ginseng sprite? Lu Yin asked with a silly smile. According to the records, only heavenly materials and earthly treasures more than 10,000 years old can produce sprites. This ginseng is only 3,000 years old now, so we'll have to wait, Lung Ruoxue said honestly. Doesn't that mean there's still 7,000 years? Boo-hoo. I will be dead by then, Lu Yin said with a sad face. Not necessarily. As long as you cultivate diligently, you will live for a very long time. Long Ruoxue consoled. Yes, I will cultivate diligently. I have to see the legendary wood-type sprites no matter what. Lu Yin said imposingly. Look at you. Are you satisfied just to live another 7,000 years? Feng De said with contempt. What else? Lu Yin scratched his head. This wish wasn't small. Eternal life, of course. Who would be willing to die if they could live forever? Feng De said matter-of-factly. Lu Yin was speechless. He was only a spiritual sovereign now. Eternal life. It was so far away. Moreover, no one knew whether there was eternal life in this world or not. Miss, am I right? Feng De looked at their young lady with a flattering look. Yes, you can indeed treat this as one of your goals, Lung Ruoxue agreed. All right, let's continue picking. Lung Ruoxue continued. 2 hours later, all the herbs on the ground were harvested, including many precious ones, with everyone's efforts. Lung Ruoxue looked at the clean open space, and 2 drops of cold sweat dripped down her forehead. Didn't we clear the place too cleanly? Butterfly, do we really have to harvest all of them? Should we leave a few behind? Lung Ruoxue couldn't help asking. They should be sustainable, right? Otherwise, won't all these herbs be extinct in the future? Yes, you won't be able to leave until you've harvested all of them. Moreover, even though you've harvested all of them now, the Creek of Affinity Mystic Realm will be full of herbs again when it opens once more in 1,000 years, Butterfly explained while gently flapping its wings. It's really magical. Lung Ruoxue was relieved. This place was really worthy of being called a mystic realm. Girl, the road to the front has appeared. Let's go quickly, Butterfly urged. Hee, there were still many good things ahead. Chapter 268. Encounter in the Forest, the Elegant White Tiger, 3. Lung Ruoxue looked up and saw a small path appear in the open space. She turned her head and said to everyone, Let's go. Let's go and take a look. Everyone walked forward eagerly. What is this? Everyone was dumbfounded at the end of the small path. Before their eyes was a large grove full of fruit trees. Moreover, the path was gone. Heavens! Don't tell me we have to pick all the fruits from the trees. Feng De wailed, feeling as if his head was going to explode. Bingo, you've got it right. Butterfly flew to Feng De and praised him. How can we live like this? Are we here to do manual labor? Guiyong complained with a bitter face. Stop complaining, everyone. Split the trees up and pick quickly. Lung Ruoxue ordered. Ball, can you pick these fruits? Lin Yuan asked fawningly while looking at the chubby fur ball. No, this isn't my specialty, Ball said honestly with narrowed eyes. Hee girl, this place is huge. You can let the beasts out to help, Butterfly reminded her understandingly. Okay, Lung Ruoxue nodded. With a thought, she released all her beasts. Fengzhan, Silverwings, everyone. Help pick some, Lung Ruoxue ordered. Yes, master. The 2 beasts acknowledged and then arranged for their clan to help. Schwer, I want to come out too. The little silver mink sent Lung Ruoxue a voice transmission pitifully. Little mink, we need to work. Stay inside obediently. They'll let you out later, Lung Ruoxue comforted. I can help too. The little silver mink pouted his pink lips a little gloomily. Boo-hoo. He knew that Schwer was afraid that he would be tired, but he wanted to be with her. Fine. Lung Ruoxue could only let the little mink out. Seeing that everyone had started picking, Lung Ruoxue also found a tree and focused on picking fruits as well. These fruits contained faint spiritual energy. Although they were not as good as the ones in her bracelet, they were top tier on the Lingfeng continent. Everyone worked together and picked fruits for more than 3 hours. Finally, they picked all the fruits on the trees, and the path that had disappeared reappeared. Everyone continued walking along the path. After the path disappeared again, an area full of ores all over the ground appeared in front of them. Wow, heavens! This is tungsten gold ore and green pine crystals. Haha, we're rich. We're rich. This time, It was old Zao and his disciples' turn to go crazy. Everyone, use your storage rings to collect the ores. Lung Ruoxue directly ordered, without needing Butterfly's explanation. The ores covering the entire ground were relatively easy to gather. In less than half an hour, they had already collected all the ores on the ground. But the strange thing was that the path that should have appeared didn't appear as expected. What's going on? Everyone looked at each other in bewilderment. Perhaps we've missed some ores. Everyone, look around carefully, Lung Ruoxue said after some thought. Everyone began to search separately. Miss, there seems to be something here. Hubin suddenly said after searching for a while. Where? Everyone was attracted. What is this? Everyone was puzzled. There was a transparent crystal half buried in the ground in a remote corner. The crystal was light blue and resembled quartz. Master, that's a water crystal and water attribute cultivators use them for cultivation, Feng Zhan said via voice transmission from the bracelet. Even though the crystals of each element weren't used in this world, they were definitely good things in the upper realm. After hearing what Feng Zhan said, Long Ruoxue squatted down and dug out the half-buried crystal. But the more she dug, the more she found. Seeing this, everyone hurriedly squatted down and helped dig. After digging up all the water crystals, everyone suddenly discovered that they were in an enormous pit. To be exact, they had dug a pit into the ground. Moreover, their bodies and faces were covered in dirt. They were stunned for a few seconds, and then everyone laughed. Haha, look at you. You're like a mud monkey. Feng De glanced at Lin Yuan and laughed mockingly. Don't talk about me. You are not any better than me, Lin Yuan retorted. Don't laugh at each other. We're all the same now, Lung Qingtian said impartially while looking at the two of them. Exactly, someone echoed. Go up if you're done laughing. Lung Ruoxue shook her head helplessly. These people, they're becoming more and more playful. Lung Ruoxue was the first to climb out of the pit. She was holding a small transparent crystal in her hand. So beautiful. The people who climbed up one after another were a little dazzled. They looked at the light blue crystal and almost drooled. The crystal was oval and the size of an egg. It was emitting a dazzling and beautiful glow under the sunlight. This is a water crystal core, Lung Ruoxue explained with a light smile, but she couldn't help sighing in her heart. I'm really too lucky. I actually obtained another crystal core after obtaining the fire crystal core earlier. It's really so beautiful. Everyone couldn't help exclaiming again. Big sister, give me the water crystal core. Qing Ju sent a voice transmission. He was somewhat speechless at Long Ruoxue's good luck. How could crystal cores be so easy to obtain? But his big sister had already obtained two. Moreover, he had some precious herbs that happened to be of the water attribute, so this crystal core would be of use. Okay. Qing Ju was her treasurer. Lung Ruoxue was very obedient and sent the crystal core into the bracelet. Feng De looked at Lung Ruoxue and asked shamelessly, Miss, what's the use of the water crystal core? With it, we will have an endless supply of water crystals in the future. But we don't need crystals now. We will need them only after we go to other dimensions, Lung Ruoxue explained simply. Chapter 269. Encounter in the Forest, the Elegant White Tiger, 4. Oh, everyone nodded to show that they understood. Lass, let's keep going. Old Zao urged expectantly. After they dug up all the crystals, the mischievous path appeared again. Okay. Lung Ruoxue looked at everyone's expectant expressions. With great anticipation and curiosity, everyone continued forward. But they stopped again before long. Schwer, is this the real forest? How can the scenes earlier compare to this? Lung Qingtian looked at the gigantic trees that towered into the clouds, and each of them required at least 100 people to surround. He was speechless. Wasn't this a little too exaggerated? What we saw previously can only be regarded as the periphery. Lung Ruoxue guessed. The original path in front of them had split into 3 forks. She didn't know which one to take. Girl, you have to choose carefully. You will encounter different things on each path. Moreover, this is the last place in this forest. After you clear this place, you'll encounter more danger outside, Butterfly explained. Do you mean that all 3 paths are safe? Lung Ruashua looked at Butterfly. Like I said, the first stage is safe. Of course, it includes this place. But I'm not too sure what's on these 3 paths. But there's definitely no danger, Butterfly said with certainty. What do you guys think? Lung Ruashua turned to look at Long Qingtian and the others. Since there's no danger, why don't we split up so that we don't miss anything good? Old Man suggested. Butterfly, is this okay? Lung Ruashua asked uncertainly. Probably, Butterfly said after some thought. Lung Ruashua turned to look at everyone and said, Grandpa, you split into 2 groups. I can go alone. All right, Schwer, be careful. Lung Qingtian said worriedly. Lung Ruashua turned her head and ordered Butterfly. Okay, Butterfly, go with Big Brother. Okay then, handsome Big Brother. We'll follow you for now. Butterfly fluttered its wings and flew in front of Long Ruhan. After forming the groups, they each chose a path and walked in. Let's go too. Lung Ruashua walked toward the last path with the little mink in her arms and Ball on her shoulder. As soon as she entered, she saw another patch of herbs. Lung Ruashua let her beasts out to help her pick them without hesitation. Big sister, I can help, said Ball, who was resting on Long Ruaksha's shoulder. Have a good rest. We can do it. Lung Ruashua couldn't bear to continue enslaving this little thing, so she spoke to console it. At this moment, Charm, Fengzhan, and the other divine beasts had all transformed into human form. They squatted on the ground and focused on picking herbs. The silver wolves used their claws to dig carefully at the ground and then slowly dug out the herbs. The large number of herbs was quickly gathered with the coordination of the beasts. Lung Ruashua sent the other beasts back into the bracelet, leaving only Fengzhan and Charm outside. Master, shall we set off? Charm's beautiful purple eyes looked at Lung Ruashua. Treasure, treasure, I like it. Ball suddenly jumped into Charm's arms and refused to leave. Lung Ruaksha's face darkened as she looked at the lecherous Ball. Is Ball female? But she had to agree with Ball's taste. Charm in human form was indeed a rare top-grade beautiful man. A layer of black covered Charm's handsome face as he looked at the little fur ball on his chest. Without even thinking about it, Charm transformed back into his small snow-white fox form and hopped onto Long Ruaksha's shoulder. Where's my treasure? Ball found that its treasure had suddenly disappeared and was spinning around anxiously. Master, he's male, Charm explained helplessly, understanding Long Ruaksha's thoughts. Lung Ruashua was embarrassed. So this little thing is male. But why did he only act this way when he saw Charm? My brother isn't inferior to Charm, and Fengzhan is comparable to Charm in terms of appearance alone. I don't know. Charm was also puzzled. He had no idea why the little thing was sticking to him. Ball, come here. Lung Ruashua called softly. Big sister, my treasure is missing, Ball said aggrievedly while lying on Long Ruaksha's other shoulder, his big black eyes brimming with tears. Ball, why do you call him a treasure? Lung Ruashua asked curiously. He has the smell of a treasure on him. It's very, very fragrant, Ball said with yearning. Charm, did you eat something? Lung Ruashua asked suspiciously. Seems like Ball wasn't being perverted. No. Is it because of the jade elixir? Charm carefully recalled that he hadn't eaten anything. He had only taken a sip of the jade elixir before coming out. Probably. Lung Ruashua nodded. Jade elixir was born from heaven and earth, and it was incomparably precious, so it would indeed be considered a treasure. With this in mind, Lung Ruashua took out a small amount of jade elixir and gave it to Ball. Treasure. Ball hugged the jade bottle excitedly, and his chubby little round body shook non-stop. Let's go, Lung Ruashua said with a knowing smile. Lung Ruashua and Fengzhan walked side by side. After walking for a while, they found that the scenery in front of them had changed. Master, this place seems to be an illusion. You have to be careful, Fengzhan reminded. Okay. Lung Ruoxue nodded. She could also feel it, but she didn't know what kind of illusion this place was. The two continued walking forward. Along the way, they encountered many cute little animals, but they ignored them and just walked forward while looking for the eye of the array. Huh, why is a flower growing on the tree? Lung Ruoxue was puzzled. It was all too strange that a coquettish red flower appeared out of thin air on the bare tree trunk. Chapter 270. Encounter in the Forest. The elegant white tiger. 5. Lung Ruoxue approached the flower and was about to pick it when she clearly felt the flower trembling slightly, as though it was afraid of something. What's going on? Master, let me do it. Feng Zhan pulled out the palm-sized red flower just as Lung Ruoxue's hand was about to pick the flower. Let go of me. Let go of me. You bad person. The flower struggled violently in Feng Zhan's hand and spoke in human language. The illusion disappeared. Lung Ruoxue looked at the forest that had returned to normal. So it really was this flower making a fuss. You're obviously the one who wants to harm us. Is the pot calling the kettle black? Feng Zhan said somewhat angrily and deliberately released a bit of might. I didn't want to harm you. I was just afraid of being discovered by you. Boo-hoo. The flower actually began to sob as it spoke. You didn't harm us? Then why did you set up the illusion? Lung Ruoxue questioned coldly. Fortunately, they hadn't fallen for it. Wouldn't it be dangerous if it was someone else? Thinking of this, she couldn't help feeling a little angry. This illusion is only to protect me, not to harm others. Really, you have to believe me. Boo-hoo, the red flower explained while sobbing. You better make yourself clear, or else I'll turn you into a dried flower and make tea out of you, Lung Ruoxue threatened. According to the rules of the mystic realm, you have to take something from here before you can continue forward. And the only thing you can take to pass this trial is me. But I don't want to leave this place, so I used my doppelganger technique to manifest some cute little animals. I hoped you could take any one of them. That way, I'd be safe. Boo-hoo, the flower explained carefully. You might be safe, but can we find the way? Lung Ruoxue snorted in displeasure. Yes, you can go out. Those animals all have my aura on them, the flower quickly said and stole a timid glance at Lung Ruoxue. But you are the best treasure here. Am I right? Lung Ruoxue said thoughtfully. A flower that can use a doppelganger technique and arrange illusions. Not bad. She was very satisfied. Yes, but I have high requirements for survival, so I will be dead if I leave this place. Even if you forcefully take me out, I won't be able to live for long. The flower wept, and drops of dew-like tears flowed from its center and onto the ground. Master, if I'm not mistaken, this should be the legendary illusionary flower, the king of the plant spirit beasts, Feng Zhan suddenly said. The flower stopped crying and said in surprise, How do you know my name? Plant spirit beast? Lung Ruoxue recalled the introduction of plant spirit beasts that she had once read in a book. In the past, there was a distinction between animal-type and plant-type spirit beasts. Moreover, the strength of plant spirit beasts was not inferior to that of animal spirit beasts. But tens of thousands of years ago, high-level plant spirit beasts basically became extinct due to the change in the environment. Some plants that still existed today, such as cannibal vines, could only be considered the lowest-level plant spirit beasts. Master, this little flower is very powerful, but it's still underage, Feng Zhan continued. Since you know me, then you should know that I can't leave this place. Otherwise, I will definitely die, the flower said pitifully, playing the sympathy card. Of course I know, but I also know that there's a place thousands of times better than here. That place is more suitable for your growth, Feng Zhan enticed with a smile. If this flower could really mature, it would absolutely be a great help to his master. Impossible. My inherited memories tell me that this is the most suitable place for me. The flower refused to be fooled. If you don't believe me, I can bring you in to take a look first, Feng Zhan said without the slightest bit of annoyance. Okay. The flower's curiosity was piqued by Feng Zhan. After receiving Feng Zhan's gaze, Long Ruoxue sent him and the flower directly into the bracelet. A few seconds later, the flower's exclamation sounded in Long Ruoxue's mind. I want to live here. The red flower in the bracelet exclaimed happily. The bright red flower swayed nonstop, showing its excitement. Yes, you can live here forever like us as long as you contract with my master, Feng Zhan said seductively while pointing at the surrounding beasts. Okay, I want a contract, the flower agreed readily. Illusionary flowers had high requirements for their environment, which was incomparable to other plant spirit beasts. So places outside the mystic realm were not suitable for its growth. But this place was more suitable for it than the mystic realm, so it was a little impatient to live here. Long Ruoxue took out Feng Zhan and the illusionary flower from the bracelet. She looked at the excited red flower and said, "Let's contract." Okay. The palm-sized red flower shook nonstop and took the initiative to enter a soul contract. "I'll call you Illusion from now on," Long Ruoxue said to the little red flower after the contract. "Thank you for giving me a name, Master," the flower said happily while shaking its bright flower. "Won't it shake off its petals by swaying like this?" Long Ruoxue couldn't help letting her imagination run wild as she looked at the trembling flower. After hearing Long Ruoxue's thoughts, a few drops of cold sweat dripped down the flower's delicate petals as it explained helplessly, "Master, my petals won't fall." Long Ruoxue was embarrassed. How could she forget that her beasts had telepathy with her? Long Ruoxue glanced at Charm and Ball, who were covering their mouths and snickering. Even Feng Zhan's shoulders were shivering, even though he wasn't smiling. How embarrassing. But what Long Ruoxue didn't know was that all of the beasts in the bracelet were also covering their mouths and laughing. Chapter 271. Encounter in the Forest, the Elegant White Tiger. 6. Moreover, all the beasts thought in unison that they absolutely couldn't let their master know that she could actually block her thoughts. That was because their master was really too cute. So poor Long Ruoxue was kept in the dark. Let's continue. Long Ruoxue felt a little depressed as she sent Illusion into the bracelet and walked forward with Feng Zhan after walking for a bit. Long Ruoxue and Feng Zhan stopped again. This was because a white tiger with immaculate snow-white fur blocked their way. White tiger? Feng Zhan frowned slightly. Why is there a white tiger in this mystic realm? Fire Phoenix. The enormous white tiger was lying leisurely on a giant green stone that was twice his size. His green eyes were half closed as he spoke lazily. Long Ruoxue's beautiful eyes examined the incomparably elegant white tiger. He was an adult white tiger. Not only was he huge, but he was also very powerful. This white tiger was at the divine beast level on the surface, but she could clearly feel that this white tiger's strength was absolutely above Feng Zhan's. "White tiger, did you specially wait for us here?" Feng Zhan probed. "Wrong. I'm mainly here to bask in the sun. I'm just waiting for you guys while I'm at it," the white tiger said casually, but he couldn't help sighing in his heart. "Alas, I've already stayed here for countless years, and I finally see people today. How can we go past you?" Long Ruoxue asked bluntly. She didn't want to waste time and didn't know what was happening with her grandfather and the others. She was a little worried. "Very simple. Defeat me," the white tiger said indifferently. "As long as you defeat me, I and this green stone will both belong to you," the white tiger added. "White tiger, aren't you making things difficult for us?" Feng Zhan roared in anger. His master might not be aware of this white tiger's strength, but he knew it very well. This human isn't even anxious. "What's the hurry, bird?" the white tiger said indifferently. "You?" Feng Zhan was so angry that he couldn't speak. At this moment, Long Ruoxue was observing the green stone that the white tiger mentioned. The stone was more than twice the size of the white tiger. It was entirely green and smooth like jade. But what was it if it wasn't jade? She had never seen such a stone, but it was definitely something good. "Qingju," Long Ruoxue called out softly in her head. "I'm here, big sister," Qingju answered. "Qingju, did you hear what that tiger said? What is that stone?" Long Ruoxue asked curiously. "Let me see." Qingju carefully observed and slowly searched his memory. Ah, big sister, that is a wind spirit stone, one of the main materials for refining divine artifacts. After observing for a long time, Qingju finally confirmed it and couldn't help but sigh in his heart. He really didn't expect such a large wind spirit stone to exist in the world. It was really unexpected. Wind spirit stone seems useless to me now? Lung Ruoxue said thoughtfully. Hee, big sister, it's useless to you now, but you will be able to use it in the future. Moreover, such a large wind spirit stone is very rare, Qingju reminded. It was really something good. Master, don't pay attention to this white tiger. Anyway, there's no danger here. Let's just drag it out here, Fengzhan said telepathically. But I'm worried that Grandpa and the others will encounter the same situation, Lung Ruoxue answered in her head worriedly. Must I defeat you? Lung Ruoxue asked as she looked up at the enormous white tiger. Yes. Furthermore, you are not allowed to ask spirit beasts for help. You can only defeat me yourself, the white tiger explained, and a smile flashed in his green eyes. I'm only a spiritual supremacy. Your strength is so much higher than mine. This is clearly an unfair battle. Lung Ruoxue frowned in slight displeasure. It's fine if you don't want to fight. Stay here with me then, the white tiger said nonchalantly. He was a kind white tiger, so of course he wouldn't force her. Let's fight then, Lung Ruoxue said helplessly. For some reason, she felt that this white tiger seemed to understand her thoughts very well. He knew that it was impossible for her to stay here, but he insisted on saying so. The white tiger slowly stood up from the giant rock and looked down at Lung Ruoxue with thousands of thoughts in his mind. He had stayed here alone for 10,000 years and was about to turn into a fossil. He could finally move around today. The white tiger stood on the stone, stretched his old arms and legs, and then elegantly walked down from the stone. Human, I will control my strength to that of a level 9 holy beast. So this match is very fair. The white tiger's huge claws gently combed the fur on his head as he spoke very elegantly. Okay. Lung Ruoxue didn't expect this white tiger to be so tasteful, so her impression of him improved greatly. Let's begin. You first, the white tiger said very politely, fully demonstrating his gentlemanly demeanor. I won't be polite then. Take this. Feather of the Fire Phoenix. Lung Ruoxue shouted softly. A fiery red feather instantly emerged and charged at the enormous white tiger. Is this the feather of that bird? So small. Haha. The white tiger laughed out loud. Laugh. Laugh all you want. You will cry later. Fengzhan suppressed his anger and snorted in his heart. He knew very well the power of this feather. This feather couldn't be judged by its appearance. Yes, just as Fengzhan thought, the white tiger quickly stopped smiling. The white tiger was a little dumbfounded as more and more feathers covered the sky and fluttered in the air. He even forgot to use his skills. Lung Ruoxue didn't know what to do when she saw the stunned white tiger. Chapter 272. The Desert Labyrinth, 1. Fengzhan, what happened to it? Lung Ruoxue couldn't help asking Fengzhan. I don't know. Fengzhan shook his head. How can this white tiger be so zoned out? How can a beast be in a daze during a battle? Fortunately, Master doesn't want to kill it. Otherwise, this stupid tiger would have been burned to ashes long ago. Fengzhan released a stream of fiery red spiritual power, which just happened to hit the white tigers, but, ow! A deafening howl sounded. Which bastard dares to sneak attack on my butt? The white tiger recovered and roared angrily. Your grandpa, I did it, Fengzhan said indifferently, crossing his arms. You damn bird. How dare you ambush me? The white tiger roared furiously, completely forgetting about the battle. His only thought now was to teach this stinky bird a lesson. How can you blame me when you're not paying attention yourself? Fengzhan said with a look of bad intentions. He was doing a good deed. The white tiger looked at the feathers flying around him and said directly to Lung Ruoxue, I'm not fighting you anymore. I want to fight this stinky bird. How can we do that? The winner hasn't been decided yet, Lung Ruoxue insisted. Consider it your win, the white tiger said nonchalantly. You said it yourself. Since I won, you and that big green stone are mine now, Long Ruoxue reminded very kindly. They're all yours, the white tiger said with certainty. In fact, he had wanted to leave this place for a long time. But it wasn't easy to see people, and he was a little bored, so he wanted to fight her first. After all, he had to check if this human was qualified to be his master. But if this human didn't even dare to accept his challenge, then he would rather stay here forever and wait for the next human than choose to leave. Then acknowledge me as your master. Long Ruoxue retracted her spiritual power and smiled secretly in her heart. Subduing a powerful spirit beast without fighting was exactly what she wanted. Okay, the white tiger replied. At the same time, he was excited that he could finally leave this place. Boo-hoo. The white tiger took the initiative to establish a soul contract. The relationship between the two was formally established with the descent of the contract array. After establishing the contract, the white tiger looked at Feng Zhan provocatively. Stinky bird, let's fight now. Fine, let's fight. Who's afraid of you? Feng Zhan said nonchalantly. Although the white tiger was of water attribute, something like attribute restraint would never happen to him. The southern spirit flame of their Phoenix clan was not something ordinary water could put out. Feng Zhan returned to his original form and flew into the air. His dark red phoenix eyes were cold as he stared at the beautiful white tiger. Let's begin. Okay. The white tiger took the lead in attacking. For a time, two figures, one red and one white, were entangled together. Red and light blue spiritual powers flew everywhere, dazzling people's eyes. Lying on the giant green rock, Long Ruoxue looked helplessly at the phoenix and tiger fighting each other. Alas, one was flying in the sky, while the other was running on the ground, but they could engage in such an intense fight. It was really unbelievable. This is? Long Ruoxue suddenly discovered that the smooth jade-like wind spirit stone beneath her seemed to have the effect of gathering wind attribute spiritual power. She had just laid down for a short while and already felt an endless stream of wind attribute spiritual power eagerly burrowing into her body. It was really too surprising. With this discovery, Long Ruoxue simply closed her eyes and began to meditate. Long Ruoxue was meditating, while Feng Zhan and the white tiger were fighting more and more intensely. They were even showing signs of losing control. Feng Zhan stopped in the air and looked at the white tiger on the ground provocatively. Little kitty, come up and bite me if you dare. Feng Zhan flew in the air with some pride, leaving a trail of beautiful, colorful light, and his long tail feathers drew dazzling arcs everywhere he went. Don't you dare call me a kitty, the white tiger roared with wide green eyes. How dare this damn bird call me a kitty? It was too damaging to his self-esteem. You are a little kitty. Come, let me hear you purr. Feng Zhan smiled. At first, he was still a little afraid of this white tiger, but after his fighting spirit completely ignited, he went all out. Moreover, this tiger was already his master's contract beast, so he was even less afraid. Hee. Damn it. Damn bird. I'll make you regret it. The white tiger roared furiously, but he couldn't help cursing in his heart. Damn bird. Isn't it just because you can fly? What's so great about it? I'll wait and see how you'll make me regret it, Feng Zhan said calmly. Okay, keep your eyes wide open, the white tiger reminded. Then all the wind attribute spiritual power in the sky rushed toward the white tiger. Gradually, more and more wind attribute spiritual power condensed into a huge pair of azure wings. With its azure energy wings, the white tiger flew into the air and looked into Feng Zhan's eyes. Damn bird. I said I would make you regret it, but I will be magnanimous and not make a fuss about it with you on Master's account as long as you admit your mistake now. The white tiger suggested very kindly. In your dreams. But how do you have the wind attribute? Is it a mutation? Feng Zhan asked somewhat curiously. The entire white tiger clan possessed the water attribute, but this tiger in front of him actually had two attributes. It was truly inconceivable. None of your business. The white tiger wouldn't satisfy this dead bird's curiosity. Have you played enough? Long Ruox's voice sounded. Long Ruoxue, who had laid on the wind spirit stone and meditated for a while, slowly opened her beautiful eyes and glanced indifferently at the phoenix and tiger flying in the sky. Helplessness flashed quickly in her eyes. The two beasts looked at each other and said at the same time in tacit understanding, "Yes." Lass, we dug up a lot of ores and materials, as well as countless herbs. Boo-hoo, old Zao wailed in pain. Today, he found out that looking at artificing materials all over the ground was also a very painful thing because he had to dig all of them up. Give me all your rings. Long Ruoxue sighed sympathetically. Fortunately, she had the foresight to let them empty their rings and give them a lot of empty storage rings before they entered. Otherwise, they might not have been able to store everything. Okay. Long Ruhan and the others handed the full storage rings to Long Ruoxue. Long Ruoxue took the rings and sent everything in them into the bracelet for Qingju to sort. Then she returned the rings to them. Schwer, why isn't Grandpa's team out yet? Long Ruhan asked worriedly. Don't worry. I said that there's no danger here. They must have encountered the same thing as you. Butterfly fluttered in front of Long Ruhan and comforted him. He had to believe in its honesty. Big brother, don't worry. Grandpa's team is stronger than yours. They won't be in danger, Long Ruoxue also comforted. After a while, Long Qingtian and the others emerged. But their faces and bodies were covered in dust, looking extremely disheveled. Grandpa, what happened? Long Ruox's eyes were full of question marks. What did Grandpa's team do? Why do they look more miserable than Big Brother's team? Schwer, Grandpa's darling. Grandpa won't catch any more rabbits. Boo-hoo. Long Qingtian couldn't help crying as soon as he saw his precious granddaughter. Not catching any more rabbits? What does that mean? Long Ruoxue was even more confused. What did Grandpa's team encounter? Oh, little girl. We caught thousands of rabbits with just a dozen of us and our beasts. Moreover, those damn rabbits could actually ignore the pressure of our might. Old man explained with a face full of tears and mucus. This time, Long Ruoxue was really speechless. Her sympathy for her grandfather and his team was like a raging river flowing endlessly. They were really too pitiful. Wow. Rabbits in the mystic realm are the most delicious food. You're in for a treat. Butterfly said excitedly and flapped its wings even faster. Get lost. Long Qingtian couldn't endure it and roared. He wanted to throw up at the mention of rabbits. How could he bear to eat one? Girl, your grandfather is so fierce. Butterfly's small black eyes held tears as it hid in Long Ruox's hair fearfully. Who told you to spout nonsense? Long Ruoxue didn't pity the tactless butterfly at all. Grandpa, let's take a rest in the space later. We can continue after we're rested, Long Ruoxue suggested after looking at the sky. Okay. Long Qingtian nodded vigorously. This was exactly what he was thinking. Ruoxue, here. This is our harvest. Lin Liang handed the ring in his hand to Long Ruoxue. Chapter 274. The Desert Labyrinth 3. Long Ruoxue took the ring and then sent everyone into the bracelet. The air here is still the best. Long Qingtian sighed with emotion in the bracelet. Hearing this, everyone nodded in unison and then headed to their own residence. Long Ruoxue didn't rest but went directly to the warehouse. Qingju was sorting all the items in the warehouse. Big sister, Qingju greeted Long Ruoxue when he saw her. Qingju, here some more. Thank you for your hard work. Long Ruoxue handed Qingju a few more rings. It's not difficult. It's very easy for me, Qingju said nonchalantly. He was an artifact spirit, and he could organize the entire space well with just a single thought. How is the harvest? Long Ruoxue asked curiously. Not bad. We gathered a lot of herbs and minerals. But I don't understand why there is so much food, Qingju said in puzzlement. There were many fruits in addition to the rabbit meat. He couldn't understand why there were these things in the mystic realm. They were probably afraid that we won't have anything to eat in the future. Lung Ruashua guessed randomly. Bingo, girl. You got it right. Butterfly flew out from Long Ruaksha's hair and floated in front of her. These fruits and rabbit meat are prepared for your journey ahead. But not everyone has such good luck. Some people might only be able to pick fruits, while others can only obtain meat. The best is to obtain both, just like you, Butterfly explained. Lung Ruashua nodded and asked, Oh, Butterfly, do you know where the 2 teleportation arrays lead? I don't know. The teleportation arrays are random, and the location of each teleportation is different every time. Girl, it's best if you can be teleported to a mountain range, which is relatively less dangerous. Deserts are one of the most dangerous places, so don't go to deserts. Butterfly reminded. I'll try my best, Lung Ruashua said calmly. Since it was random, how could she decide where she would be teleported? Qingju, big sister is going to rest. Don't exhaust yourself, Lung Ruashua said with concern. Okay, big sister, quickly go and rest, Qingju urged. Lung Ruashua left the warehouse and went straight to her temporary bamboo house, where she lay on the bed with her clothes on. Little mink, let's sleep for a while, Lung Ruashua said to the little mink in her arms. Okay. The little silver mink found a comfortable spot in Long Ruaksha's arms and closed his eyes in satisfaction. It was already the next day when Lung Ruashua woke up. After exiting the bamboo house, Lung Ruashua saw her grandfather and the others already waiting for her. She didn't expect to be the last to wake up. Where's Ball Ball? Lung Ruashua looked around at everyone but didn't see the chubby little Ball. After he entered the bracelet yesterday, she let him roam freely, but he disappeared today. Big sister, I'm here, Ball Ball yelled from a tall tree. Everyone raised their heads and looked at the source of the sound. At this moment, Ball Ball was lying on a milky white spirit fruit twice his size, looking as though everything would be fine if there were fruits. Ball Ball, aren't you coming down to accompany Big Sister on a treasure hunt? Lung Ruashua pretended to be sad. I want to accompany Big Sister, Ball Ball hurriedly said. He flapped his small wings and flew down from the tree, landing directly on Long Ruaksha's shoulder. Grandpa, stay in here for now. Come out after we arrive at the teleport destination. Lung Ruashua caressed Ball Ball's soft fur in satisfaction. Okay, Schwer. Be careful, Lung Qingtian reminded. I will. Then Lung Ruashua left the bracelet by herself. Looking at the 2 teleportation arrays in front of her, Lung Ruashua hesitated. Which one should I choose? Forget it. I won't think about it anymore. I'll just randomly enter one of them. After making up her mind, Lung Ruashua walked directly into the nearest teleportation array. As a dazzling light flashed, Lung Ruashua subconsciously closed her eyes. When the light disappeared, she opened her eyes. But the scenery in front of her made her pale with fright. In front and all around here were densely packed venomous snakes and scorpions. Every venomous snake was as thick as an adult's arm, and the venomous scorpions were as big as a wash basin. Moreover, their bodies were pitch black and shiny, and their eyes released a greedy and sinister cold light. Hee hee, another human finally came knocking on our door, a venomous snake said with a vulgar laugh. I haven't had the taste of human in a long time, but only one isn't enough. The largest scorpion among the scorpions waved its huge pincers in dissatisfaction. Lung Ruashua felt depressed as she listened to the discussion between the snake and the scorpion. Alas, why am I so unlucky? I was actually teleported to a desert, and I became the food that 2 holy beasts are discussing. Lung Ruaksha's beautiful eyes quietly examined the situation and environment in front of her, while the 2 holy beasts were discussing. The venomous snakes and scorpions were worthy of being the kings in this endless desert. But 2 tigers could not share one mountain. It was amazing that these snakes and scorpions could get along peacefully and even become friends. The venomous snakes and scorpions in front of her were all holy beasts. Among them were hundreds of level 9 holy beasts, which could be considered very powerful. But it was a pity that they actually encountered her. It remains to be seen if they have the capability to eat me. Do you want to eat me? Lung Ruashua asked softly with a smile. Isn't it obvious? You're already on our plate. Haha. The venomous snake laughed hysterically. But I'm afraid you won't be alive to eat me, Long Ruoshue said with pity. As soon as the little silver mink emerged, he openly occupied Long Ruox's soft arms. Big sister, Ball Ball laid on Long Ruox's shoulder obediently. The transformed charm occupied Long Ruox's other shoulder. As for Fengzhan, he naturally transformed into a human and followed beside Long Ruoxue. Grandpa, let's go, Long Ruoxue said to Long Qingtian and the others. Butterfly flew to Long Ruox's side and reminded, Girl, the Snake King and the Scorpion King haven't appeared yet, so you have to be careful, okay? Long Ruoxue nodded, then led the group deeper into the unknown desert. They walked for hours in the deserted desert but found nothing. Schwer, it's so hot here. Long Qingtian kept wiping the sweat off his forehead with his hand and complaining. Grandpa, let's take a break, Long Ruoxue suggested. Okay, let's all rest here, Long Qingtian said loudly to everyone. Hearing this, everyone hurriedly sat on the ground. Everyone, have some fruits. Long Ruoxue took out the fruits they had picked in the forest from her bracelet. Schwer, although this fruit doesn't have much spiritual power, it has plenty of water, Long Qingtian said while munching on a fruit. Grandpa, I have a feeling that everything was arranged in advance by the mystic realm. Long Ruoxue voiced her doubts. Butterfly flew into Long Ruox's hair and explained, Ha, girl. Everything in the mystic realm is under the jurisdiction of the spirit of the mystic realm. Otherwise, why would you have to do so many things in the first stage? Moreover, the first stage is not life-threatening. It's just a little tiring. But you have to understand the painstaking efforts of the mystic realm spirit. These fruits, meat, herbs, ores, and so on are all very useful to you. With them, at least your lives will be much safer in the mystic realm. Of course, luck and strength are also very important, but at the very least, you won't die of hunger or thirst. Long Ruoxue nodded. Butterfly's words were very reasonable. After all, not everyone could have a heaven-defying space like her. Moreover, it was impossible for others to have storage rings full of food, so survival was indeed the biggest problem. Ruoxue, how long do we have to go in this desert? Lin Liang couldn't help asking suddenly. I don't know. I guess we have to complete the mission like in the forest to leave this place, Long Ruoxue said after some thought. This desert seemed to be circular, and they were actually walking around in circles. The entire desert is bare. How do we complete the mission? Lin Liang was depressed. There was endless sand in front of them, and they couldn't find the goal at all. Suddenly, an exclamation sounded in everyone's ears. Everyone looked in the direction of the voice and found that Hu Bin, who had been sitting not far away from them, had disappeared. Where did Hu Bin go? Everyone was surprised and was about to go over to take a look, but Long Ruoxue stopped them. Chapter 276, The Desert Labyrinth, 5. Everyone, stay where you are. Don't move. Then Long Ruoxue walked over. Schwer, what happened? Long Qingtian asked worriedly. It's okay. It's just a hole. Hu Bin fell down. Long Ruoxue squatted down and looked into the hole, but it was pitch black inside, and she couldn't see anything clearly. Grandpa, everyone, go back into the space. We'll go down and take a look. Long Ruoxue sent everyone back into the bracelet. Hold on to me tightly. Long Ruoxue nodded at Charm and Ball Ball before jumping down without hesitation. Fengzhan also followed closely behind and jumped down the hole. Long Ruoxue touched the two little beasts on her shoulders and called out softly in the pitch-black cave. Charm, Ball Ball, Fengzhan? Master, I'm here. Fengzhan lit a flame, and the entire cave instantly lit up. What is this place? Long Ruoxue looked around. It was actually a house, and the whole house was as empty as the wilderness. There was not a single piece of furniture, and dust covered the walls. There was also a moldy smell in the house, as though no one had lived in it for a long time. Hu Bin. Long Ruoxue found the unconscious who'd been in a corner of the room. She hurriedly ran over, helped him up, and stuffed a pill into his mouth. "Miss, where is this?" Who just woke up, asked in bewilderment. "I don't know. They'll send you back into the space to rest first." Long Ruoxue sent into the bracelet. "Swear, let Grandpa out to accompany you," Lung Qingtian said in the space. How could he be at ease with his precious granddaughter taking risks alone in this unknown place? "Swear, Big Brother wants to come out too," Long Ruhan echoed. "Hee, little girl. Let us out," Old Man said. "All right then." Long Ruoxue knew that they wouldn't be willing to stay in the space peacefully. But those below spiritual supremacy should stay in there for the time being. "Swear, this house is so strange." Lung Qingtian looked around the room after coming out. "Yes, it's a little strange," Lung Ruoxue agreed. She jumped down directly from the hole, but she didn't notice any damage to the house. So where did she come from? "Why are you thinking so much? There's a door there. Let's go out and take a look." Lin Liang pointed at a door. "Then let's go," Lung Ruoxue said while looking at everyone present. "Swear, hide behind Grandpa. Grandpa will take the lead." Lung Qingtian pulled his granddaughter behind him and walked out first. Lung Ruoxue smiled helplessly and followed her grandfather out. After everyone left the room, they heard a mechanical voice. "Welcome to the Desert Labyrinth. You are the 5th batch of adventurers today. Good luck." Then the voice disappeared. "What lousy thing is this? Why don't you talk about the rules?" Old Zao couldn't help cursing. "Butterfly, why did that voice just say that we are the 5th batch today?" Long Ruoxue asked in puzzlement. "Girl, he means that 4 more groups of people entered before you," Butterfly explained patiently. "I know. I mean, didn't they encounter those venomous snakes and scorpions?" Lung Ruoxue asked depressedly. "I don't know. But there should be more than one entrance to this desert labyrinth," Butterfly said after some thought. "What treasures are in this labyrinth?" Lung Ruoxue continued to ask. It will be best if there's something that can interest me here. Otherwise, I won't mind demolishing this place." "Girl, I really don't know," Butterfly said aggrievedly. "Swear, which way should we go?" Lung Qingtian asked uncertainly as he looked at the path that split into 2 directions. Lung Ruoxue looked up at the environment in front of her. The sky above the labyrinth was gray, and she couldn't see anything clearly. There was a path under their feet at this moment, and they were standing in the middle of it. There was an exit on each side, but the one on the left was slightly closer to them, while the one on the right was relatively farther away. "Girl, you have to think carefully," Butterfly reminded. Lung Ruoxue frowned as she pondered. "To the right," Lung Ruoxue said with certainty after a while. She chose the nearest portal last time and ended up in the desert, so she chose the one farther away this time. After deciding, Lung Ruoxue and the others walked toward the right exit. They saw a door at the right exit. Everyone looked at each other. Lung Ruoxue pushed the door open, and everyone walked in. After entering, everyone found that they were in a secret room. It was empty, but there were 2 teleportation arrays in the upper right corner, and they didn't know where they teleported to. "Welcome to the first stage of the labyrinth." The mechanical voice sounded in everyone's ears again. "What are we going to do in the first stage?" Old Zao couldn't help asking, but the voice disappeared once more, and he was so angry he started cursing again. "What is that sound?" Lung Ruoxue asked uncertainly. She seemed to have heard a rustling sound. "Wind," Feng Moran asked doubtfully. He heard it too. Lung Qingtian listened carefully and then said with certainty, "Definitely not wind." "Everyone, stay alert," Lung Qingtian reminded. As soon as he finished speaking, countless black beetles emerged from the ground. Each beetle was the size of a millstone and entirely black. They had extremely hard carapaces and 2 antennas on their heads, and gray eyes the size of bronze bells were looking at them greedily. "We've become food in the eyes of these bugs," Lung Ruoxue said with a tingling scalp. She hated things like snakes and bugs the most. "Swear, it seems like we won't be able to leave this place until we destroy these bugs," Lung Ruhan said in realization. He already understood the rules of the mystic realm, and he knew that they had to destroy or subdue the things here to leave every place they went. Only then will we have the motivation. Long Ruoxue began to negotiate with the voice. You can obtain an additional 10,000 points, the voice said. Not enough. We want physical rewards, Long Ruoxue said, asking for an exorbitant price. This voice likely belongs to that whatever mystic realm's spirit. Since it's in charge of the entire mystic realm, it should have a lot of good things. Who else would we rob but it? All right, what do you want? No more than 10 items, the robotic voice said through gritted teeth. It was obviously trembling from anger. Qingju, what should we order? Long Ruoxue immediately sent a voice transmission to Qingju. This little fellow was very experienced and knowledgeable, and he knew a lot of good things. Big sister, there aren't many good things in the mystic realms of low-level dimensions, so I only want these few items. Qingju gave Long Ruoxue a list. What are these things? Long Ruoxue's forehead dripped with cold sweat. She admitted that she was a little ignorant because she actually didn't recognize any of the things that Qingju told her. Big sister, we will need these things when we go to other dimensions. Moreover, I am sure that it can produce these things, Qingju said with a smile, looking like a cunning little fox. Okay then. Long Ruoxue cut off the voice transmission with Qingju. Then she cleared her throat and said, I want purple spirit grass, dragon core sand, 10,000-year-old green pearl. Long Ruoxue listed 10 items in one breath. With every piece, the voice seemed to tremble in anger. All right, I want these things, Long Ruoxue said to the void. You. The voice didn't manage to form a complete sentence for a long while. It was obvious that it was extremely angry. What? You can't bear to part with them? Long Ruoxue said mockingly. Except for the angry voice, Long Qingtian and the others, who were watching the commotion by the side, were all puzzled. They didn't know what the things Schwera listed were, but since she could make the voice so angry that it couldn't finish speaking, yeah, they should be good things. All right, I will give you all the things you want as long as you can defeat the beetle general, the voice said while suppressing its anger. We will definitely defeat that big bug, Long Ruoxue said confidently. Then I'll wait and see. After speaking, the voice directly disappeared. Schwer, why hasn't that bug come out yet? Feng Moran couldn't help asking after waiting for more than 10 minutes. It's probably a little slow because it's too fat. Wait for it. Long Ruoxue said very kindly. Damn you. Human, you're the fat one. An angry roar came from underground. Then the earth shook violently as a massive black gold beetle crawled up slowly from the ground. A divine beast, Old Man exclaimed. He didn't expect this bug to be a divine beast. He couldn't help feeling a little depressed as he thought about those ordinary beetles with abnormal defense just now. Chapter 278. Tough Love 2. It's just a bug. How can it be a beast? It's a divine bug at best. Long Ruoxue's beautiful face was full of disdain. You damn human. How dare you call the mighty me a divine bug? Let me tell you, I am a divine beast. The beetle general roared in anger. Not only was its voice deafening, but the smell coming from its mouth was foul too. It stinks. Everyone quickly covered their mouths and noses. Stinks? Where's the stink? I'm one of the most handsome in the insect world. You ignorant humans. The beetle general said with contempt. After hearing this, everyone was dumbfounded. What kind of bug is this? How can there be such a narcissistic bug? This was everyone's only thought at this moment. Master, leave this stinky bug to me. White Dawn, in the bracelet, volunteered to go into battle. Okay. Long Ruoxue helplessly summoned White Dawn. As soon as White Dawn emerged, his green eyes glared daggers at the bug, claiming to be mighty. This damn bug actually dared claim to be mighty. White Dawn hated it. Stinky bug, I am your opponent. White Dawn said coldly. Huh, a divine beast? A cat? Haha. The gigantic beetle general laughed hysterically when it saw the kitten that wasn't even as big as its leg. Damn it. Open your bug eyes and look carefully. White Dawn roared furiously. He was obviously a mighty white tiger, but this disgusting stinky bug actually dared to call him a cat. Schwer, where did this cat come from? Lung Qingtian asked softly. In fact, he wanted to ask when he saw the white cat yesterday, but he didn't have the chance. Grandpa, Lung Ruoxue was at a loss for words. Master's grandfather, I'm not a cat, White Dawn said aggrievedly. Boo-hoo. It doesn't matter if that bug is ignorant, but why does even Master's grandfather think him a cat? I'm so mighty and strong. Not a cat. Long Qingtian looked suspiciously at the palm-sized thing in front of him. Don't tell me this little fellow is a tiger? Haha, I told you long ago that you're a little kitty. Feng Zhan laughed as he grabbed White Dawn in his hand. What an idiot. He actually doesn't realize that he's currently transformed. Damn bird. Let go of me quickly. White Dawn struggled and twisted his chubby little body. Boo-hoo. So am in my transformed state. All right, I'll let you go. Feng Zhan released his grip without hesitation, and White Dawn fell. Howl! With a tiger's roar, White Dawn enlarged his body and steadily landed on all four. The kitten actually became bigger, as expected of a cat who's a divine beast. The beetle general exclaimed. Damn it, I'm going to kill you. White Dawn was furious. What kind of gaze is that? You called me a cat when I was in my transformed state, but you're still calling me a cat when I return to my original form. After speaking, White Dawn pounced directly at the beetle general. Watching by the side, Long Ruoxue and the others all had black lines hanging over their heads as they sighed in their hearts. This bug was really stupid. In its eyes, there was no difference between a cat and a tiger. During the battle, White Dawn unleashed his water element skills nonstop and blasted the beetle general's body. But he didn't leave a single scratch behind. In contrast, the gigantic bug was calm and composed. It didn't attack at all and just lay on the ground. No matter how much spiritual power struck it, it didn't move. Seeing that his skills were ineffective, White Dawn was even angrier. He scratched directly with his sharp claws, but his claws scratched the tough, steel-like shell of the beetle general without leaving any marks. Kitten, let me help you. Feng Zhan couldn't bear to watch any longer. This beetle general's defense was really too abnormal. Who knew what its shell was made of? Okay, I'll leave it to you. Depressed, White Dawn retreated to Long Ruoxu's side and gave the battlefield to Feng Zhan. There was really nothing he could do about this bug. He would definitely deplete his spiritual power if he continued fighting. Brimming with confidence, Feng Zhan spat a mouthful of southern spirit flame at the big bug before returning to Long Ruoxu's side. Kitten, I've settled it, Feng Zhan said provocatively. Are you sure? White Dawn pointed at the weakening flames on the beetle general. Of course. How is this possible? When Feng Zhan's gaze turned to the big bug again, he suddenly saw that his southern spirit flame was actually becoming smaller and smaller. Moreover, only burned for a few minutes before extinguishing. Seeing this, he was also depressed. His invincible southern spirit flame actually couldn't do anything to a bug. Let me try how thick its shell is. Lung Ruoxue suddenly said. She had been observing this bug since White Dawn attacked it just now, and she had a rough idea. This bug's attack power shouldn't be high, or it shouldn't have any attacks at all. But its defense was invincible. Even the divine beasts, White Dawn and Feng Zhan, couldn't do anything to it. She wondered if her divine flame would cause any damage to this bug. Feather of the Fire Phoenix. Lung Ruoxue exclaimed. A fiery red spiritual power feather, shining with golden light, flew toward the beetle general. She had infused her divine flame into the feather. The beetle general raised its head slightly and looked at the small red feather disdainfully. Then it lowered its head again, obviously not paying attention to the tiny flame. But when the small feather disintegrated into countless particles and stuck to its entire body, a piercing pain came from its body. Aha! A howl of pain sounded from the beetle general. It began to roll around on the ground, and its voice became weaker and weaker. After a while, the beetle general disappeared from the world, but its shell remained. Chapter 279. Tough Love 3. Long Ruashua put away the shell and then said to the void, "The beetle general is dead. Hurry up and give us our reward." "For you. You can go to the next level," the mechanical voice said without emotion. Long Ruashua glanced at the rewards that appeared in front of her. She deliberately counted them before storing them in the bracelet. "Damn girl, why would I lie to you?" The mechanical voice sounded again, this time with obvious anger. "It's hard to say. What if you replace something or mix something else in them?" Long Ruashua obviously didn't trust it. "You quickly go to the next level. You have to exit the labyrinth within 48 hours. Otherwise, don't even think about leaving," the mechanical voice reminded. "Belated advice." Long Ruashua complained. "Grandpa, let's hurry up and go." Long Ruashua said to Long Qingtian and the others. "All right, let's go." He was slightly anxious upon hearing that there was a time limit. "Which portal do we enter?" Long Ruashua asked as she looked at the two portals. "Schwer, you decide," Long Ruhan said. Long Ruashua looked at everyone and decided directly. "The portal on the left." Everyone stepped through the left portal, and as a light flashed, they were teleported to another room. "Why is it another room?" Old man said helplessly. Long Ruashua looked around. Apart from the lack of doors, this room was no different from the first room they had encountered. The only difference was that the door had changed to 2 teleportation arrays. "Lucky wretched girl. You can pass the second level directly?" The mechanical voice sounded displeased. "Are there any rewards for this level?" Long Ruashua asked directly, ignoring the displeasure in the voice. "Only points. Because of your luck, each of you obtained 2,000 points." The mechanical voice became emotionless again. "Okay, damn girl, quickly go to the next level. The last level has a big prize." "There are already 2 teams there," the mechanical voice reminded. "What prize?" Long Ruashua asked curiously. She didn't want to waste her energy if it wasn't something that could move her. "What you want the most." Then the mechanical voice disappeared. "What do I want the most?" Long Ruashua frowned in thought. What she wanted the most now was a 1,000-year-old fire lotus. But fire lotuses had to grow in places with rich fire element or in volcanoes. However, according to Butterfly, there was no such place in the mystic realm, so she didn't have much hope of finding a fire lotus here. "Schwer, let's continue." Long Qingtian looked at his granddaughter, who was lost in thought. Long Ruashua looked at the teleportation array by the wall. "All right, let's go to the left." Then everyone stepped in. After entering, they were surprised to find themselves in another room. Moreover, the layout of the room was exactly the same as the one before. "Lucky damn girl. You can pass directly again, and your reward is 4,000 points." It didn't give Long Ruashua time to ask more questions and directly disappeared after speaking. "Lass, look at how scared it is. It actually escaped so quickly this time," Old Zao said excitedly. "Okay, still the one on the left," Long Ruashua said without hesitation and walked in first. Everyone followed closely behind and entered as well. It was yet another secret room, and the layout was almost the same as the one in the first level. Moreover, there was another team of about a dozen people in the secret room. When the 2 teams saw each other, they were both stunned and then stared at each other with wide eyes. Long Ruaksha's beautiful eyes sized them up. There were a total of 12 people in this team, 8 spiritual supremacies and 4 peak spiritual sovereigns. Such a team would definitely be considered a formidable force in the mystic realm. "Hello, I am Ming Huan." The young man leading the group greeted them sincerely. This man named Ming Huan was in his early 20s, had handsome features, and an outstanding temperament. He was an intermediate spiritual supremacy. "Long Ruashua, these people are my family," Long Ruashua said simply. "We are from the Ming family of the Ling Yun continent. May I ask about you?" Ming Huan asked curiously. The team in front of him only had 10 people, but each of them was stronger than them. Therefore, he had to humble himself and take the initiative to befriend them. After all, it was better to have one more friend than one more enemy in such a mysterious place. "We are from the Ling Feng continent," Long Ruashua said indifferently while thinking, why hasn't that voice appeared yet? Suddenly, the teleportation array lit up and another team walked in. Ming Huan. Haha, I didn't expect to meet you here. This is great. The man who spoke grinned, and his handsome face was full of viciousness. It's indeed a little coincidental, Ming Huan said indifferently without any expression on his face. Ming Huan, why don't we join forces? When the time comes, we can split the treasures in the labyrinth equally. The man proposed directly, ignoring Long Ruoxue and the others. It's not only our two teams here, Ming Huan reminded after glancing at Long Ruoxue and the others. So what? Our two teams are definitely the strongest. The other teams are not qualified to compete with us, the man said confidently. He had a trump card. Let's talk about the last level, Ming Huan said coldly. While dealing with the man, Ming Huan sent Long Ruoxue a voice transmission. Miss Long, this man's name is Zhu Feng, and he's also from the Lingyun continent. But he isn't a good person, so be careful. Got it. Thank you, Long Ruoxue replied politely while looking at the team that entered last. This team had the largest number of people among their three teams, with a total of 25 people. Moreover, spiritual supremacies alone accounted for 2/3 of the entire team. It was no wonder that Zhu Feng was so confident. Their team was indeed very strong. Chapter 280, Tough Love, 4. While waiting, Zhu Feng looked around, and his eyes lit up in amazement when he saw Long Ruoxue. She was so beautiful. May I ask your good name, miss? Zhu Feng walked to Long Ruoxue and struck up a conversation with her, thinking that he was very gentlemanly. Long Ruoxue looked at the slightly chubby man with turbid eyes and a vulgar face with disgust in her heart. She said innocently, Grandpa said that I'm not allowed to talk to strange men. Men are not good and only lie to little girls. The old men and the others were dumbfounded when they heard what Ruoxue said. Lass, you scolded all men. Lung Qingtian felt even more wronged. Darling granddaughter, how can you wrong your grandpa? When did grandpa say such things? Big brother isn't a bad person. Big brother can go to your home to propose marriage once I know your name. Zhu Feng smiled. Propose marriage? What's propose marriage? Is this it? Lung Ruoxue's clear and beautiful eyes blinked innocently twice. Then she raised her hand and slapped Zhu Feng directly on the face. How dare you hit our young master? You must be tired of living. Zhu Feng's lackey hurriedly hollered when he saw his young master being hit by a woman. Whoa, this dog beside Big Brother Zhu is so fierce. A scared expression appeared on Long Ruoxue's face, and her beautiful eyes welled up with tears. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. They don't bite. Zhu Feng's heart immediately softened when he saw the bowtie's pitiful appearance with tears in her eyes. He had long thrown away his displeasure from being slapped just now. Big Brother Zhu, are you sure? Grandpa said that if you get bitten by a dog, you will get sick. Long Ruoxue asked uncertainly with tears in her beautiful eyes. Yes, I'm sure. They promised not to bite. Zhu Feng coaxed with a forced smile, but he was gritting his teeth in hatred. Why is this little bowtie's grandfather so troublesome? Lung Qingtian was on the verge of tears when he saw the old men beside him, holding back their laughter. Darling, you wronged Grandpa again. Boo-hoo. Big Brother Zhu, were you happy with that slap just now? I heard someone say that this is tough love, Long Ruoxue said with a light smile, her absolutely beautiful smile making heaven and earth lose color. Yes, I'm happy. Zhu Feng was smitten by this beautiful smile. At this moment, he only wanted to please the beauty and couldn't care less about anything else. Then Big Brother Zhu, do you want to be happier? Long Ruoxue's beautiful face was full of mystery, and the killing intent in her eyes flashed for a moment. Yes, of course I do. Zhu Feng began to let his imagination run wild. Is the beauty going to throw herself into my arms? That's great. Long Ruoxue released the 5 silver wolves and said with a smile, help me express my gratitude to Big Brother Zhu. Master, we will definitely let him understand your intentions, Silverwings promised. How dare he have any ideas about Master? He really doesn't know the meaning of death. Beauty, what are you doing? Zhu Feng asked in shock. Hitting is affection, and cursing is love, Lung Ruoxue said with a sweet smile. The moment she finished speaking, the 5 silver wolves threw Zhu Feng to the ground and began violently scratching his body with their large and sharp claws. Aha! A shrill scream instantly sounded in everyone's ears. Young master! Zhu Feng's subordinates hurriedly stepped forward to save him. Feng Zhan blocked in front of the Zhu family and said coldly, "Didn't you hear what my master said? Hitting is affection, and cursing is love." "Umph! How dare you hit our young master? You must be tired of living. If you know what's good for you, get out of the way quickly. Otherwise, they'll teach you a lesson." A middle-aged man in the Zhu family's team roared. "Are you talking to me?" Feng Zhan's dark red phoenix eyes narrowed. His tone was unfriendly, and he deliberately unleashed his might. This is a spiritual deity?" Everyone from the Zhu family was shocked, their faces horrified. Although the Zhu family had the advantage in numbers, it was not worth mentioning in front of a spiritual deity. "That man in red is a spiritual deity?" Ming Huan, who was watching the commotion not far away, murmured in surprise. But he was also puzzled. Aren't only spiritual supremacies allowed in here? Why is there a spiritual deity? Which of your eyes saw that I am a spiritual deity? Feng Zhan questioned with some displeasure. Someone from the Zhu family gathered his courage and asked carefully, if you're not a spiritual deity, then what are you? You don't deserve to know. All you need to know is that no one is allowed to save this pig head before my master has had enough fun," Feng Zhan said in an incomparably overbearing manner. So what if you have the strength of a spiritual deity? Our Zhu family has so many people here, but you're only one person. You're not our match at all," a young man without much experience in the Zhu family suddenly said loudly. "Zhu Neng, shut up," an old man in his 60s scolded before Feng Zhan could say anything. The old man's face was full of smiles as he said to Feng Zhan very respectfully, "Your Excellency, I'm really sorry. This child is insensible. Please don't take it to heart." "Of course I won't bicker with an insensible child. But I don't know if others will bicker with you," Feng Zhan said meaningfully with a smile that could enchant all living things on his handsome face. "Feng Zhan, come back," Lung Ruoxue called out softly. Upon hearing this, Feng Zhan obediently returned to Long Ruoxue's side and whispered, "Master, why didn't we kill the Zhu family members? They're really an eyesore. Do you want to be someone else's goon?" Lung Ruoxue asked lightly and glanced at the Ming family. "Humph. There's a price to pay for using me. I don't want to. I mean, why don't we eliminate them all and let these people fight in hell together?" Feng Zhan whispered evilly. After all, in his eyes, everyone other than his master and his master's people were dispensable. Chapter 281. I want the 10,000-year-old fire lotus. 1. Now is not the time. There are still 2 levels, Lung Ruoxue reminded. If the treasures in the last level caught her attention, and these people insisted on snatching them from her, then they couldn't blame her for being ruthless. "Swear, they'll leave you for a while," the little mink, who had been staying quietly in Long Ruoxue's arms, suddenly said. Then he transformed into a ray of silver light and dashed out. The little silver mink rushed to the side of Zhu Feng, who was already in a miserable state. His eyes released waves of cold light, and his sharp claws flashed, striking an important area below Zhu Feng's abdomen. "Damn pighead. How dare you have any ideas about Swear? I definitely won't let you go," the little mink thought resentfully. "Aha! Aha!" Zhu Feng screamed in pain. But even after he fainted from the pain, the little mink slapped him awake again. Ball, who found it amusing, also flew over, and his little pink paws bounced vigorously on Zhu Feng's body. "Elder, what should we do?" someone from the Zhu family whispered. "What can we do? Can you beat that red-clothed man?" The old man addressed as elder said very pragmatically, but he couldn't help but sigh in his heart. Alas, the young master will most likely become useless. Everyone from the Ming family had the mentality of just watching the show, but they were terrified seeing what was happening. What kind of pet beast was this? How could a man survive with an important part of him attacked? Zhu Feng was so pitiful. Lung Ruoxue and the others were also dumbfounded as they watched. After the little silver mink was done, he released a stream of water attribute spiritual power to wash his little paws. Then he jumped back into Long Ruoxue's arms and lay down gently. His entire movement was as smooth as flowing water. Big sister. Ball Ball was also done playing and flew back to Long Ruoxue's side. But the bloodstains on his pink claws made him awkward. Ball Ball looked at his dirty little paws and then at Long Ruoxue with tears in his eyes. Big sister, my paws are dirty. Boo-hoo! Long Ruoxue shook her head helplessly and released a water orb to wash Ball Ball's paws. She then coaxed, okay, it's clean, big sister. Ball Ball likes big sister so much. Ball Ball said coquettishly as he flew onto Long Ruoxue's shoulder, and his chubby little body gently rubbed against her beautiful face. Big sister likes Ball Ball too, Long Ruoxue said as she caressed his soft fur. Hee hee. Ball Ball laughed happily. Welcome to the 4th level of the Desert Labyrinth. The 4th level is to kill all the monsters here. Moreover, I have to remind you that you must cooperate in order to complete this level, regardless of the enmity between you. Otherwise, you won't be able to complete this level. The mechanical voice finally appeared. Silver Wings, come back. Long Ruoxue said very kindly before Zhu Feng was tortured to death. Yes, master. After the Silver Wolves gave a final vicious strike, they went back to Long Ruoxue's side. Silver Wings gently raised his front paw and kicked Zhu Feng, whose body was covered in claw marks and blood, and whose clothes had long become strips of cloth, back to the Zhu family. Young master. The Zhu family elder hurriedly took out a pill and stuffed it into Zhu Feng's mouth. His face was full of disappointment. Humph. How many times have I told the young master that lust is like a knife? But he didn't listen. Great. Now you've been taught a lesson. However, what made him angrier was that he couldn't take revenge. Long Ruoxue ignored the hateful gazes of the Zhu family members and turned her head to remind everyone, Grandpa, everyone, be careful. Okay, Shuer, you should be careful too. I'm afraid that the Zhu family will do something under the table, Lung Qingtian reminded her. They don't dare to do it now. Otherwise, no one will be able to pass this level. But it's hard to say what will happen in the next level, Lung Ruoxue analyzed. Sha, sha, sha. While Long Ruoxue and the others were whispering, a rustling sound came. Afterward, countless bugs emerged from the ground. Among these bugs were ants, scorpions, and centipedes. Moreover, every bug was the size of a millstone. The few huge bugs leading the way were several times larger than the ordinary bugs. Damn it, more bugs again, Long Ruoxue said depressedly, and she was already cursing the spirit of the mystic realm. Can't that spirit of the mystic realm do anything other than these disgusting things? Miss Long, looks like we have to cooperate, Ming Huan said loudly while looking at Long Ruoxue. Long Ruoxue glanced at the Zhu family elder and said mockingly, well, this level requires everyone to cooperate, so don't drag us down. Our Zhu family won't drag you down. Humph, let's wait and see. The Zhu family elder hollered back, unable to bear the agitation. I hope so. Long Ruoxue smiled nonchalantly. Do it. Long Ruoxue ordered as she looked at the disgusting bugs. The moment Long Ruoxue finished speaking, the Ming family moved together. With the cooperation of the two teams, the number of bugs quickly decreased by a third. Grandpa, I found that the bugs in this level seem to be very easy to deal with, but there are just too many of them. Long Ruoxue took the opportunity to send a voice transmission to Long Qingtian. Yes, Grandpa also discovered it, Long Qingtian replied. He continuously unleashed his spiritual skills, immediately killing large numbers of bugs. Do the Zhu family like to watch the commotion so much? Long Ruoxue's beautiful eyes glanced at the Zhu family members standing by the side in a daze, her face full of disdain. Hee hee, Miss Long, the Zhu family has always been like this. Don't count on them. Ming Huan added oil to the fire. Oh, I see. Long Ruox's face was full of realization. Damn girl, we are not such people. The Zhu family elder roared furiously. What are you waiting for? Hurry up and attack, lest a woman looks down on us. The Zhu family elder shouted at the people around him. Chapter 282. I want the 10,000-year-old fire lotus to, oh. The Zhu family members seemed to have only reacted at this moment. They hurriedly used their spiritual skills to kill the bugs. In the secret room, colorful spiritual skills were flying all over the sky. Wherever these spiritual skills went, countless bugs died or were injured. About half an hour later, they killed all the bugs, but the mechanical voice did not appear. Schwer, there's something wrong, isn't there? Lung Ruhan couldn't help asking. Logically speaking, that voice should have appeared after they killed all the bugs. But, probably because we haven't completed the task yet. Everyone, be alert. Lung Ruoxue said after some thought. Just as everyone was feeling puzzled, countless more bugs emerged from the ground. Moreover, their numbers and strength were at least twice as strong as the previous batch. Let's begin. Lung Ruoxue said helplessly and attacked first. Lass, how long do we have to fight? Old Zao couldn't help asking. He had not exercised his old bones like this for a long time. Boo-hoo. So tiring. Fight until that voice appears, Lung Ruoxue said calmly. If there were no outsiders here, she would have released all her beasts long ago. Alas, fighting is so physically demanding. Old Man exclaimed. An hour later, everyone worked together and eliminated all the bugs again. But the voice still didn't appear. Damn it. What's the meaning of this? Someone from the Zhu family cursed. Schwer, haven't we completed the task yet? Lung Qingtian was puzzled. This lousy task was too tormenting. Fortunately, they had pills, and their spiritual power recovered quickly. Otherwise, they would definitely be exhausted to death if this continued. Grandpa, don't worry. We will complete it, Lung Ruoxue comforted. After a while, countless bugs swarmed up from the ground again. The number this time was twice as many as before. Lung Ruoxue looked at the densely packed bugs and snorted in her heart. Spirit of the mystic realm, this better be the last time. Otherwise, I will destroy this place. Let's do it, Lung Ruoxue said coldly. Before Lung Ruoxue finished speaking, everyone impatiently started killing the bugs. They raised their hands and slashed down, and spiritual power flew everywhere. The bugs died one after another. Moreover, everyone attacked ruthlessly. Clearly, they were venting the anger they had been accumulating for a long time on the unlucky bugs. After a while, when everyone eliminated all the bugs again, the mechanical voice finally appeared. Congratulations on passing the 4th level. Each of you will obtain 5,000 points. Now, you can go to the next level. Hehe, even though there are still 2 portals, you don't have to make a choice because they will transport you to the same place. Haha. The mechanical voice laughed hysterically. Lung Ruoxue held back her anger and looked at everyone around her. In that case, let's go. Let's go. Lung Qingtian and the others nodded and stepped into the portal together. After the light flashed and disappeared, Lung Ruoxue and the others were teleported to the last level of the desert labyrinth. Lung Ruoxue looked at the environment in front of her. This secret room should be the largest in the entire labyrinth. In the corner of the secret room, there were also 2 golden portals, and 2 teams were already waiting here. The people from the 2 teams were stunned when they saw Lung Ruox's team, but they quickly recovered and nodded at them in a friendly manner. After Lung Ruox's team arrived, Ming Huan's and the Zhu family's teams also arrived. I'm very happy that you all reached the last level of the desert labyrinth safe and sound. This last level is the most difficult one in the entire labyrinth. In addition, only 3 out of your 5 teams can leave the labyrinth safely, the mechanical voice said excitedly. What do you mean by only 3 teams can leave safely? Ming Huan asked in puzzlement. Only 3 teams can get out alive, the mechanical voice explained. Then those who can't get out will die here? Lung Ruoxue frowned slightly. Yes, 2 other teams must die. But it's up to you who lives and who dies, the mechanical voice said, trying to shift the blame. Do you mean that you want us 5 teams to kill each other? Lung Ruoxue asked coldly. Yes, haha. This is the rule of the labyrinth. There are only 3 rewards for the last level. The mechanical voice laughed irresponsibly. What if only 1 team survives in the end? The Zhu family elder suddenly asked. Then all the rewards will belong to the living team, of course. The mechanical voice said matter-of-factly. Tell me about the rewards first. Lung Ruoxue said. This was what she was most concerned about. Haha. All right, the first among you will obtain 2 sacred artifacts, 1 offensive and 1 defensive. Second place will obtain 2 divine beasts, and you can contract them directly without needing to tame them. Third place will obtain a 10,000-year-old fire lotus, the mechanical voice explained. There's actually a 10,000-year-old fire lotus. Great. It seemed that the spirit of the mystic realm was not lying to her. It was indeed what she wanted the most. But she only needed a 1,000-year-old one. Would a 10,000-year-old one be a problem? As an alchemist, she was very clear that the older the medicinal herbs, the higher the grade, and the better the quality of the concocted pills. However, pills of excellent quality might not be what she needed because both pills and spirit fruits had to be at the same level as the consumer to consume them without any danger. Therefore, she was a little worried whether the pills concocted by a 10,000-year-old fire lotus would be useful to Freak. Schwer, a 10,000-year-old fire lotus will work, the little silver mink said anxiously. He was so excited. Boo-hoo. I didn't expect to find a 10,000-year-old fire lotus here. This is great. I finally don't have to stay in this mink's body anymore. Chapter 283. I want the 10,000-year-old fire lotus. 3. Are you sure? Lung Ruoxue couldn't help asking. The effects of pills concocted from medicinal herbs that were 1,000 years and 10,000 years were different. If Freak consumed one, he might not be able to bear the power of the pill, causing his body to explode in a violent death. This wasn't the result she wanted. Yes, I'm sure. The little silver mink nodded vigorously. A 1,000-year-old fire lotus was the lowest requirement, and of course, a 10,000-year-old one was better. But a 10,000-year-old fire lotus was not easy to find, so a 1,000-year-old one was acceptable. All right, then I must obtain the 10,000-year-old fire lotus, Lung Ruoxue said with determination. Lass, if the 10,000-year-old fire lotus is the reward for 3rd place, wouldn't we be getting 3rd place? Old Zao said helplessly. With their strength, they could get 1st place without a problem. But this girl just had to get 3rd place. Wasn't this too much? However, the rewards for 1st and 2nd place were indeed useless to them. Only alchemists could use the reward for 3rd place, and others obtaining it would just be for decoration. 3rd place is of course the best, Lung Ruoxue said lightly. She didn't want to start a killing spree unless necessary, so these people had better be sensible and not compete for it with her. Otherwise, she would make them regret coming to this world. So what if our hands are covered in blood in order to save Freak? Miss Long, shall we join forces? Ming Huan suddenly sent a voice transmission to Lung Ruoxue. Although Lung Ruoxue's team had the least number of people, Ming Huan absolutely didn't dare to underestimate them. The strength and ruthlessness they had just displayed in the 4th level had deeply shocked him. Of the 5 teams present, the first 2 to arrive had obviously reached some sort of agreement, and the Zhu family also had the idea of monopolizing all the rewards. So they had to find an ally for themselves. Only in this way would the chance of survival be higher. Among the few teams here, only Lung Ruoxue's team was the most suitable for them. Therefore, he took the initiative to request to join forces. Yes, but I want the 10,000-year-old fire lotus. Lung Ruoxue directly stated her request. No problem, Ming Huan answered readily. Although a 10,000-year-old fire lotus was precious, it wasn't useful at all to them. Instead, he was more interested in the sacred artifacts or divine beasts. After a moment of silence, the mechanical voice said, "Haha, you can start fighting now." None of the 5 teams attacked first, but instead observed each other. "Miss Long, which team should we fight first?" Ming Huan asked via voice transmission. "The Zhu family, of course," Lung Ruoxue said lightly. The Zhu family elder's question just now had probably angered the other 2 teams. It might be what they were all thinking, but at such a sensitive time, whoever raised it first would become everyone's eyesore. Okay, Ming Huan agreed. The Zhu family was the Ming family's biggest rival. They would benefit the most by getting rid of the Zhu family. "Let's wait and see first," Lung Ruoxue reminded. Okay. Ming Huan led his team back a few steps and stayed in a corner. In the middle of the secret room, only the 2 teams that arrived first and the Zhu family were left. The leaders of the 2 teams looked at Lung Ruoxue, Ming Huan, and the others in the corner, exchanged glances, and then launched an attack against the Zhu family together. The reason they attacked the Zhu family first was not only for the question just now, but also because the Zhu family was the largest and most powerful among the 5 teams. So they unanimously believed that the Zhu family was their greatest enemy. As for Lung Ruoxue, Ming Huan, and the others, they didn't take them seriously at all. "Damn it! How dare you attack our Zhu family?" The Zhu family elder roared furiously. He originally wanted to let them kill each other first, but he never expected that his team would become the first target. The 3 teams quickly got into a brawl, while Lung Ruoxue, Ming Huan, and the others simply sat on the ground and watched the tigers fight on the mountain. "Miss Long, those 2 teams are very strong." Ming Huan transmitted his voice while watching the battle. "Yes, the Zhu family isn't weak either," Lung Ruoxue replied. There were more than 30 people in the 2 teams, with nearly 20 spiritual supremacies. On the surface, they seemed to have the upper hand, but no one could guarantee that the Zhu family didn't have any trump cards. After all, the fact that so many people from the Zhu family could enter was enough to illustrate the problem. "Swear, after they deal with the Zhu family, they should turn to deal with us, right?" Lung Qingtian said while looking at the situation on the battlefield. "Okay, let's prepare," Lung Ruoxue reminded and turned her gaze to the 3 teams. In the battle, the 3 teams had already suffered casualties, with the Zhu family suffering the greatest. There were originally 25 people, but only 5 remained. 4 of them were seriously injured, and only the Zhu family elder was still hanging on. "You pieces of trash, I will make you regret it." The Zhu family elder looked at his opponents with hatred in his eyes, and then chose to self-explode. Lung Ruoxue was quick-witted. When she felt that something was amiss, she swiftly set up a barrier to protect herself and her group. When Ming Huan realized what was happening, he hurriedly took out a defensive sacred artifact to isolate the blast of the Zhu family elder's self-explosion. They were unscathed, but the 2 teams in the middle of the self-explosion were not so lucky. Although the spiritual supremacies in the 2 teams were still alive, they were all seriously injured. Those below spiritual supremacy, including the 4 remaining people from the Zhu family, were all brought away by the Zhu family elder to meet their maker. Lung Ruoxue, Ming Huan, and the others stood up and walked to the center of the secret room. "Ming Huan, don't you think we should thank Elder Zhe?" Lung Ruoxue said regretfully as she looked at the nearly 20 spiritual supremacies who were still alive but covered in wounds. "Yes, we should thank him, but we should thank Zhu Feng even more. If he didn't die early, the Zhu family wouldn't have disappeared so quickly," Ming Huan said happily. Zhu Feng carried the Zhu family's secret weapon. If he hadn't died first, the Zhu family wouldn't have been destroyed so quickly. Chapter 284. I want the 10,000-year-old fire lotus. 4. Yes, that makes sense. Lung Ruoxue nodded in agreement. That pig head had become scared silly after being taught a lesson by her silver wolves. Afterward, he was the first to die in battle. Alas, he was a young master after all, but he died before he could even perform well. How pitiful. "Do you want to take advantage of our perilous situation?" A middle-aged man couldn't help asking Long Ruoxue and the others. Don't worry. I won't take advantage of you, Long Ruoxue comforted with a smile. She turned to Ming Huan's team. Ming Huan, they'll leave these people to you. Men don't have to care too much about their reputation. When the middle-aged man first heard Long Ruoxue's words, he felt relieved. But the explanation she gave afterward made him so angry that he vomited blood. A few drops of cold sweat dripped down Ming Huan's and the others' foreheads, and they couldn't help feeling uncomfortable in their hearts. Great, miss. Men also care about their reputation. Take advantage of his injuries and take his life. Why don't you hurry up and attack? We will be the ones dying when they recover. Long Ruoxue reminded very kindly. Do it. Ming Huan ordered coldly. With Ming Huan's order, the entire Ming family took action and sent all the survivors of these two teams to hell. Then they took the initiative to clean up the battlefield. Well done, Long Ruoxue praised. Killing 3 teams without even needing to do it herself felt pretty good. Thank you for the compliment, Ming Huan said cooperatively with 2 drops of cold sweat dripping down his forehead. Young master, we've collected the spoils of war, one of Ming Huan's subordinates reported. Miss Long, shall we split the spoils equally? Ming Huan asked very politely. I have no objections, Long Ruoxue said indifferently. She didn't care about spoils of war at all. The only thing she cared about was the 10,000-year-old fire lotus. Hey, we only have 2 teams now. Come out now. Long Ruoxue shouted into the void. Miss Long. Ming Huan was at a loss for words. This Long Ruoxue was really too formidable. She actually demanded that the other come out now. Alas, who would come out just because she said so? But the truth surprised him. Damn girl, what are you shouting for? You haven't decided who won yet, the mechanical voice said with slight displeasure. We've already decided. I'm third. Quick, give me the 10,000-year-old fire lotus. Long Ruoxue urged loudly without any trace of politeness. All right. Here, catch. The mechanical voice said strangely. Damn it. I want the 10,000-year-old fire lotus. What the hell is this? Long Ruoxue looked at the reward that appeared out of thin air in her hand and felt depressed. Long Ruoxue's beautiful eyes stared hard at the little thing in her hand that was less than the size of an adult's palm. She was extremely depressed. Don't tell me this is the 10,000-year-old fire lotus. This is obviously a kitten, and it's a kitten that hasn't opened its eyes yet. The kitten in her hand was entirely fiery red and covered in fluffy fur. On its small head was a red fire lotus the size of a fingernail. Its nose, mouth, and little claws were all pink and tender. Long Ruoxue's face was full of doubts as she looked at the small fire lotus that couldn't be any smaller. She pondered in her heart. Could this small fire lotus be the 10,000-year-old fire lotus, and this cat is a free gift? Lung Qingtian and the others were also puzzled along with Long Ruoxue. Why is it a cat? Is the spirit of the mystic realm messing with us? Is this the 10,000-year-old fire lotus? Ming Huan asked curiously. Was he seeing things? The 10,000-year-old fire lotus was obviously a plant, but this was clearly a small animal. This is a cat, right? Lung Ruhan asked uncertainly. This is a cat. Long Ruoxue suppressed her anger. Butterfly flapped its wings and flew over. Girl, don't be angry. This is really a 10,000-year-old fire lotus. Do you think I don't know what a cat looks like? Long Ruoxue roared furiously. Girl, it's already a 10,000-year-old fire lotus. Of course, it might be in this state. Moreover, it's not a cat. It's the spirit of the 10,000-year-old fire lotus, Butterfly quickly explained. It was a sprite, so its senses couldn't be wrong. The spirit of the 10,000-year-old fire lotus is actually a cat? Feng Moran said in disbelief. This was too magical. Are you sure? Ball, what do you think? Lung Ruoxue didn't really believe Butterfly and turned to ask Ball, who was lying on her shoulder. Yes, I'm very sure, Butterfly promised. Big sister, it's a treasure, Ball said with certainty as he looked at the red kitten in Long Ruoxue's hand. At this moment, the kitten in Long Ruoxue's hand suddenly opened its eyes. Its big pink eyes were moist and shiny, unbelievably beautiful. The kitten sniffed around with its pink nose, then raised its head and called Long Ruashua sweetly, "Mommy." The word "mommy" shocked Long Ruashua so much that she broke out in a cold sweat. She instinctively swung her arm, throwing the red kitten into the air. "Ah!" Everyone couldn't help exclaiming as they broke out in cold sweat for the little guy in their hearts. Suddenly, a red figure soared into the sky and caught the kitten who was about to fall to the ground. That was close. Everyone heaved a sigh of relief. "Mommy!" The kitten's beautiful pink eyes were full of tears as he looked at Long Ruashua pitifully. "Boo-hoo! Does Mommy hate me? I'm sorry. I didn't do it on purpose." Long Ruashua felt a little guilty. She took the cat with tears in his eyes from Feng Zhan. She was just shocked. "Does Mommy hate Little Fire?" the kitten said sadly as tears welled up in his eyes. Chapter 285, Awakening. The tofu near my lips disappeared. 1. Little Fire likes Mommy too, the kitten said happily. Little Fire, can you not call me Mommy?" Long Ruashua was at a loss for words. "Boo-hoo. I'm not married yet. Why? Mommy is the first person I saw when I opened my eyes, so you are my mother," Little Fire said stubbornly. Little Fire, you can call me Big Sister." Long Ruashua coaxed patiently. "Little Fire doesn't want to. Mommy is Mommy. Boo-hoo. Mommy hates Little Fire." Tears welled up in Little Fire's eyes and dripped onto the ground like pearls. Okay, don't cry. If you continue crying, I really won't want you anymore," Long Ruashua threatened, feeling a little headache. "I won't cry anymore. Mommy, don't abandon me." Little Fire quickly stopped crying and lay on Long Ruashua's palm obediently. "Good." Long Ruashua caressed Little Fire's soft fur. "Ha ha, damn girl. I've given you the 10,000-year-old fire lotus you wanted. You have to take good care of it." The mechanical voice sounded a little smug. "Don't worry. They'll take good care of it," Long Ruashua said through gritted teeth. "What about our other rewards?" Long Ruashua asked. "Each of you will receive 25,000 points. This is the reward for the top two. Also, you can scram now." A ring floated to Ming Huan's hand, and then the mechanical voice completely disappeared. "Miss Long, we have divided the rewards for first and second equally," Ming Huan said. "No need. We don't need them. But I want to know what those two divine beasts are," Long Ruashua said curiously. "Let me see." Ming Huan dripped a drop of blood onto the ring and then sent his divine sense inside. It's a snake and a scorpion," Ming Huan said after looking at them. "The Snake King and the Scorpion King?" Long Ruashua narrowed her beautiful eyes coldly. Yes," Ming Huan answered fearfully, but he was puzzled. "Does Long Ruashua have a feud with these two beasts?" "Ming Huan, I need some snake venom and scorpion venom. Let them out to spit some out for me," Long Ruashua said with a light smile. "Okay." Ming Huan knew that he had taken the biggest advantage, so he couldn't refuse Long Ruashua's small request. Ming Huan released the Snake King and the Scorpion King from the ring. But for some reason, the two beasts felt fear in their hearts as they looked at Long Ruashua not far away. Long Ruashua took out 2 small jade bottles, placed them in front of the two beasts, and commanded in a tone that accepted no refusal, "Fill my bottles with your poison." The two beasts looked at each other, but neither of them moved. "Didn't you hear what my master said?" Feng Zhan's dark red phoenix eyes narrowed with displeasure. "Yes, sir." The two beasts were terrified, and they were resigned to their fates as they began to spit out the venom. "Schwer, why can these small bottles of yours hold so much?" Long Ruhan whispered in puzzlement. The Snake King and the Scorpion King had been spitting for 2 hours, and they were so tired that they were about to collapse, but the small jade bottles were still not full. It was too unbelievable. Of course it's because they were refined with a special technique. There is basically a space inside, Long Ruoxue explained simply. Upon hearing what his sister said, Long Ruhan felt some pity for the Snake King and the Scorpion King. Alas, how pitiful. But your subordinates offended our little princess. Serves you right for suffering. Another hour later, the Snake King and the Scorpion King were still spitting venom into the jade bottles. All right, that's enough. Seems like you won't be able to fill them, Long Ruoxue said with some dissatisfaction. Her face was full of contempt, as though she was saying, "You're really too useless." Upon hearing that they didn't need to spit anymore, the two beasts collapsed onto the ground while panting heavily from exhaustion. If not for the fact that they were really too tired, Long Ruoxue's words would definitely have made them vomit blood. Helplessly, Ming Huan stored the two exhausted divine beasts back into his ring and then said to Long Ruoxue, "Miss Long, let's go." "Okay, please go first," Long Ruoxue said politely.
"Farewell."
Ming Huan nodded at Long Ruoxue and the others before leaving with his team. "Grandpa, shall we leave?" Long Ruoxue asked after Ming Huan and his team left. "Let's go." Long Qingtian nodded. Everyone walked toward the teleportation array together. "Lass, which one should we choose?" Old Zhao asked curiously, not knowing where their next destination would be. "Right," Long Ruoxue said after some thought. Since Ming Huan's team chose the left one, they had to choose the right one. After choosing, everyone set off. After another flash of light, Long Ruoxue and the others were transported to a mountain range. Butterfly flew in front of Long Ruoxue and said happily, "Girl, a mountain range isn't bad."
"Yes."
Long Ruoxue nodded. She looked at the steep mountain range shrouded in white mist from halfway up the mountains, which towered into the clouds, and a feeling of heroism welled up in her. "Grandpa, let's spend the night outside the mountains. We'll go in early tomorrow," Long Ruoxue said to Long Qingtian and the others after some thought. "Okay, we've been hungry for some time." Long Qingtian nodded in agreement. After everyone went back into the bracelet, they had dinner and then returned to their rooms to rest. Holding the little mink in her arms, Long Ruoxue entered the purple bamboo house. Long Ruoxue's mood was very complicated as she looked at Freak lying on the purple jade bed. "Schwer, what's wrong?" The little silver mink couldn't help asking when he saw that she was a little down. "I want to save Freak," Long Ruoxue said slowly after a while. With the 10,000-year-old fire lotus, he can wake up as long as you concoct a fire lotus pill, the little silver mink said happily. "Boo-hoo, I can finally wake up." It really wasn't easy. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.